Oh, my goodness gracious me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, and we are here. Yes, we are live. Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the show on this beautiful Tuesday morning. And once again, I am joined by my lovely, beautiful, amazing, wonderful co-host, the one, the only, the fantastic, the amazing Ray is here. What's up, Ray? I'm sorry, what?
Barely me.
Oh no. Oh, great to have you here as always. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And I love all you guys. And let's see who's all here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason D was first. Here's your happy dance. All right, thank you. Great to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Blackheart Knight was number 2. Welcome to the show. Great to see you. Craig Jonick was third. All right, third place. Hey, you still get a medal for third, right? Clarence Hickson, what's up, Misfits? What's up to you? Cool, clear water. Don't care about the number, just happy to be here. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see, King Stu 2000. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, King Stu. Great to see you. Let's see, Blackheart Knight, Doc Leno. Good morning to all YouTube people out there. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. Always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. And since we're together, I might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Stefan St. German, I'm keeping an eye on you, tyrant. That's right. Thank you. Somebody's got to watch me. Let's see. Greg Jodick, Mason Glitterman. Is that like Jason Gutterman? I'm going to do the First Amendment audit exposing the government corruption at Ray's Flower Shop that has this car wash. Hey, man, let me tell you something. The great thing about my car wash is that it's definitely not at all like the car wash from the joke doesn't work if I forget the punchline. Who was the guy that ran the car wash that was a front for his drug operation? Walter White.
Yeah, Walter White, yeah. Breaking Bad.
That's what it was.
Excellent series.
Yes.
Besides Sons of Anarchy, that was the shit, man.
That show was amazing. Yeah. And I was so like at the time, because like I really like stand-up comedy a lot. And when I saw Bill Burr in that, I was like, what the hell is he doing here? That was great. Let's see. Greg Jonick, what's up? Blackheart Knight, Doc Leno, Cool Clearwater, Cliff Hickson. G'day, mate. Where's my Joey? There he is. Hello, welcome to the show. All right. Juggernaut Jared Reed, what's up? Chihuahua Appreciation Day. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. We get little Chihuahua, we get Highway Star, we get it going. We got P. Barnes in the house again. What's up, P. Barnes? Great to have you here as always. P. Barnes, Greg Jonick, Cool Clearwater, Stefan, Greg Jonick, Terry Barnes. Good morning, all. God bless you all. God bless you too, sir. Absolutely, positively. Woohoo. Let's see. Stefan, Greg Jonick, P. Barnes, Blackheart Knight, Cynthia, Karen Shaw is in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Let's see. Who else is here? I'm wondering now. We got David E. Pearsons. What's up? Yes, David the People, Mason Juttergan, Gason Manson Gutter.
Mancy Gutter. Manzy Gutters. Manzy Gutter. Oh my God. Manzy Gutters. Yeah.
Hey, it's Lester, the Lessonator. Good morning. Good afternoon here, everyone. Good morning to you too, sir. Yvonne's Donna Ray. What's up? Ray Sunshine Network. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Check. Good morning to you too. Let's see. Oh, Paul of Scotland is here. Hey, Ray. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Ray. Great to see you as always. And he said hello to me as well. All right. Great to see you, Paul. Great to have you here. Let's see. P. Barnes, Paul Donna Ray, Jaime Palmetto, Al Bay. What's up? There's no need to fear. Hezokuai, Jaime Palmetto Bay, and Ray is here. Good morning, Your Honor. Jaime Palmetto Bay appearing on behalf of YouTube and Free Ray. That's right. Absolutely. I'll do my best. I might take the house arrest bracelet off today. I don't know. Jason D, good morning to Cool Clear Water. Good morning to you, Jason D. News Now enemy is in the house. Smash that like button. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. I mean, Jason D. Mr. Thomas is here. What's up, Mr. Thomas? Good morning, Hez and Ray. Good morning to you. Let's see. Ooh, Paul Cumwood. Yo, my peeps, you hood. What's up? Look at this. We got $2 from Donna Ray. Hello, all. Let's go. Thank you so much for the $2. Here's your happy dance. All right. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Who else do we got? That I did not say hello to yet. Donna Ray, Jason D, Blackheart Knight, Paul Goen, Griffey, Donna Ray, P. Barnes. The internet god is here. What's up? I went to the donut house this morning. I'll share. Thank you so much for coming.
For the class.
Right. Yeah, did you bring enough for everybody?
To bring enough for everybody. Teachers used to do that and they catch a bum or something. It's like, actually, I did. I have the big pack.
Honestly, I did that once, and that was like, I got in more trouble for saying that because they said you were being a smart ass. It's like, no, I purposely brought, because I know you were going to say that. I brought more. I really bring enough for the whole class. I used to chew that stuff. I don't know if you remember, because when I haven't seen it since we were kids, but I know we were kids at the same time. My favorite used to be fruit stripe gum. They had the picture of the zebra on the pack, and some of them super big packs.
Man, really? You're probably the type to chew juicy fruit too.
Yeah. Well, you know. The only thing, okay, here's what I didn't like about fruit stripe gum, and I can see why it doesn't exist anymore. The flavor didn't last long at all. You'd start chewing a piece, and it would taste great for like 30 seconds, and then you have to spit it out.
Because it's gimmicky gum. You had to choose like Hubba Bubba and like what are some of the other ones? Bazooka. Yeah, those type to get that real. Yeah. You know.
Josiah Stelbert, good morning. Hez and Ray, good morning to you. Internet God, P. Barnes, Josiah. My tiny, there she is. My tiny Chihuahua wife. Life.
I was wondering where you were. Is Highway Star sleeping in this morning? He is retired now, so I guess he can be like lazy if he wanted. He could sleep in and he can do whatever he wants now.
Vegemite flavored gum, no. That would be horrible.
Over Parson, I think. Skipped over Parson.
Oh man. Let's see. I skipped Parson. I'm sorry. Welcome, Parson. Great to see you as always. Let's see. Anyone else that I missed? Can I link a new Frauditor news channel? If they're good, why not? Do you got a ranch? Yeah, you got a ranch.
Go ahead. Please do. We're always on the lookout for new. Don't be sorry you overslept. Please sleep.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot. You're moving. There's so much. No, please. You need your rest, sweetheart. Please. Rest.
Absolutely, positively.
We will be here. Yeah, but Parson, we're always on the lookout for new channels. I mean, always.
Yeah, we try to support the new guys.
Really nice to smack you right back in the face. Sorry.
We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah. Ashley's here. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Ashley. Great to see you. All right. So first of all, a couple things. I wanted to start the show with this. So many other things have come up in the last 24 hours that I didn't even get a chance to talk to Ray about this. So I apologize on that. I'm going to drop this on you while we're on the air. I talked to Cupcake last night. And between what's been going on with her health and her surgery and everything that's coming up, between that and the fact that I only get to see the kids on the weekends, Saturday show is gone, done. No more Saturday show.
Okay.
Part of the past. So, I'm sorry, guys, and anyone who, I know Parsons is here, and I had him scheduled to be on in a couple weeks, and Will was supposed to be this weekend. It's just not possible anymore.
They'll understand. I'm sure they'll understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. It's not like you're dropping a big, huge, like we're canceling the weekday show on you,
Right.
So, yeah, no, you're right. It's for the kids. You need to be there for them. That's why you moved back home.
Yep. Right.
Good idea for now. Is it tabled, back burnered, or is it completely like Thursday show off, just done?
Well, what Maggie and I agreed on was that when she's up to it and everything's working out, that we can do like an occasional special, and when we do, it'll be on Saturday in what would have been our normal Saturday slot. Okay. So it's not like maybe someday we'll bring the show back, but every once in a while it'll be like, hey, you know what? Why don't we do an episode this Saturday? Okay, fine. And then we'll just do it. It'll be like an impromptu kind of thing. Occasionally, but yeah, again, and Donna Ray saying everyone gets it. Yeah, and that's like I said, it was because the show has always been from day one, me and Frauditor Comedy Show or Frauditor News Network. Since it has always been Maggie and I from day one, I didn't want to make a final decision until I talked to her. And like I said, she was totally on board with it because she was like, realistically, she doesn't know how often she's going to be able to do it going forward anyway. So it's time,
Yeah, and like you said, you only get them. Saturday is the only day you get them, like for the whole day. So, right. I completely get it. I do. So don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. Trust me, I could use the rest anyway.
Right.
So it's fine. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Well, not just that, but also like the afternoon when the show is on is the perfect time of day if I'm going to do something with the kids to do something. We're going to go to the park. We're going to go out here. We're going to do this. When are we going to do it? Well, we have to do it before the show or after because I have to leave that. And
it's like person who works second shift. You can't do anything before you got to work that. So yeah, we understand. Everybody gets it, and if they don't, then, oh well. But I'm thinking the majority of people understand. So it's fine. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Absolutely. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to make that announcement.
This is true. This is true right here. I mean, I spend so many hours. This is true. This is true. But I love hearing from you guys, so it's fine. I don't mind.
Yes, but I can attest to that. It seems like, I mean, and this is the weird thing, like her fans, yes, but I mean, everything. Like anytime anyone has anything good or bad to say, they say it to her. And it's like sometimes she'll be like, has so and so said this, or I got this email about that. It's like, why are they coming after you? What the hell did you do?
It's not coming after me, it's coming to me.
Well, right.
Because I think they think it's you're really busy or you get a lot of emails, then maybe you won't see it,
right.
And I can come right to you with it. I don't really mind it, because if it's something important, I'd rather it get in front of me,
right.
So I can bring it to you. But I spend many, many hours. But all the emails, my eyes get on them like right away. You know what I mean? There's nothing I miss. So
right.
But if I don't answer it right away, just know I have seen it. I have seen your email.
Yes.
Unless you're a troll, I'll throw you right into spam and you're done. So I don't go for that.
Right. So. Oh man. Now, the other thing that you sort of started to allude to a little bit earlier, that I wanted to address just because it's the kind of thing that I've been getting a lot of emails and so have you. So I have to mention it is especially because I've been a big supporter of the Past Unremembered's channel since they started. And then they put out a video yesterday, said, I'm calling you out. And they mentioned a bunch of people in it. I was one of them. I don't know. It seems to me like, well, first of all, because they brought up basically 2 points in that video. One was the idea of like the privacy strike complaint thing. And the thing that kind of irked me about that a little bit was just yesterday on this very show, Ray and I were talking about my philosophy that they've taken it upon themselves to educate the general public that they legally can be mean to you as long as it's verbally, because the First Amendment covers it. And they're educating people about their right to be a douche canoe. So therefore, we take it upon ourselves to educate their victims that they to the what the privacy complaint process is on YouTube, right? And that's something that
all the time I'm on the phone or I'm emailing. It's like, I don't know how many videos I've helped get taken down or, tried to educate them, and they literally can't get it taken down. Their bosses won't let them, or they don't even want to talk to you because they've been call flooded so much. And they come and assume that channels aren't doing that because they aren't bragging about it in every single video.
Right.
Yeah, and they put a link up, but are they ensuring that the people that they make videos about are seeing their video?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, see, and this is the thing. This is part of it. So, and this is the example that I used because it's just the most recent example. This is not the first one and only time, but it's the most recent, so I'm using this. Audit Them recently did a live where he was talking specifically about how, and he wouldn't mention any names, but he said that him and a group of other frauditors are getting together to attack all channels that support the privacy complaint process. Specifically, for those are the channels they're targeting. So when you advertise that you're doing that, you're putting a target on your back for these douche canoes. Right?
Yeah.
And there are certain things that we do behind the scenes that we have spoken about on the air, but like Ray just said, we don't go around waving our flag. Hey, we're the ones that are reporting you guys. Come after us. No.
Exactly. You don't do that for reasons. Like Blackheart said, I don't brag about what you do behind the scenes. Because reasons. Dr. Dave's channel was just taken down by privacy complaints. Not privacy, copyright strikes. So he's got to use his second one. Why? Because they want to go after him all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need your channel taken down because of what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, even though you're not making up the videos, but they can find a way. It's like, I don't need to brag anyway. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not telling you, hey, put a link to a privacy complaint in every video you make, because that's just putting a target on your back for them, And second of all, it's beyond that. Why do you need to toot your own damn horn in every video you make? Why do you need to do that? Why?
And the other thing too, though, about that specifically, hey, $5 from Little Chihuahua. Hez, you need to spend time with your family. Time goes by fast. We're here for you in the Rash Crew. Much love. Yes, absolutely. Here's your happy dance. All right. Thank you so much.
I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, right? It's not.
Yes.
It's not a matter of, here, look what I did. Like, they brag that they took down frickin' media. So if our little channel can do that, what are you doing?
But this was the other piece of that I wanted to talk about specifically, was that I feel like, and again, like, I'm not looking at this video as like an attack Okay, but when they talk about the amount of research that they do on a Frauditor video, well, if you did that same amount of research on this video, you would have seen that we've mentioned on the air multiple times, in fact, just yesterday morning, that isn't something that we brag about and advertise, but that is something that we do.
Yeah, I don't want to advertise it. I don't. And I don't think it's smart to, because of channels like Audit Them who are vindictive. Yep. He's been trying to find out who's been coming behind him with the privacy strike, calling people, emailing them. He's been trying to find out, actively trying to find out. Yep. He has said it.
Well, so, the I'm talking about, he started it by saying that what triggered him was he walked into a place and they knew he was coming. Like, how the hell did they know I was coming? You know, these channels, we got to find out who these channels are that are telling people about me and what I'm doing, and telling them that I'm coming in there pretending to be some kind of FOIA inspector. Like, and it's like, dude, that is exactly what you do.
It's exactly what you do. Exactly. So, I mean, I don't want to advertise it. I will talk about it if I get a video taken down or whatever, because that's a win. You know, it's a win, and you want to tell people, look, we got one for the good guys, you know, but I'm not out here, hey, look at me, this is what I do, you know, because exactly the reasons you stated. Like, they why put targets on people's backs?
Right.
I'm associated with your channel. I'm up here. You know, I'm co-host, I'm producer. What are they going to do? They're going to think I'm doing it on your behalf.
Yeah. But see, because here's the thing, like, I think about situations like, and again, things that you've talked about openly on the air, in lives, specifically that, what was it, the subjoint or the sock joint? Liberty Troll just hit Frauditor Troll.
Frauditor Troll with a strike. Yeah, it's a sock account.
Oh, no, right. But what I'm talking about is the business that you contacted. Was it the subjoint or something like that?
Oh, the sub shop. Yeah. From Pacific Northwest Transparency. Yeah.
Yeah. That when you found out what they were saying to that lady, that when they say, oh, well, I just have my fans call to redress their grievances. You don't redress your grievances by calling a place a business, a private business, and saying, if you don't fire that lady, I'm going to come over there and stab you in the face and rape you and murder you and
chop your neck off. And never mind.
This is the kind of stuff these people are saying.
And you don't redress the sub shop. They're not the government. You just don't do that. They cannot violate your rights. But anyway, that's besides the point. We got that video taken down. All right. And again, got it taken down, and again, got it taken down. So it was like a fight. It was a battle. You know what I mean? So that one we did a victory, like, you know, live about, because it was so difficult, and that poor girl suffered so much. You know, right? She had to quit. She had to quit and go to counseling because of what those nasty subs said to her. But that's besides the point. We're not talking about that. But generally, I just don't even know when I get a video taken down or what's going on with my, you know, advocacy behind the scenes, because of people like Audit Them and the fact that they are vindictive and they try and take channels down because of it. Now, I'm not saying that Past Unremembered, they can handle their channel how they see fit. Okay. They really can. I don't want, if they want to blur out faces and go ahead and do the privacy strike right in their videos, that's fine. But I would caution them on that. I really, really would caution you on that, because there are channels that will actively try and take you down. And right now, you being so tiny still, they would take you down, because it'd be very simple. You're very vulnerable right now. So that would be my advice. You can handle your channel how you see fit. But I would also give you the advice to not tell other channels how to run their channels. That's a mistake. They have experience in running their own channels. and they will see to their channels how they want to run them. That's all. I would say don't do that either. If you have a problem with how they're running their channels, the public forum is not the place for that. It just causes more discourse in the community, and there's enough of that lately. There is enough of that. We don't need any more. We don't need it from our own people. Okay. So I would say from now on, if you have a problem with how any of the channels are running their channels, maybe send an email. Maybe ask for a meeting behind the scenes. And you probably would get further than you got with that pot shot of a video that you did. And that's what I'm going to say on it.
Yeah, and ultimately, like for me, looking at what they actually said in the video, like trying to completely take any kind of an emotional reaction out of it, just listening to what they said and looking at the comments on there. I never once received unsolicited advice and thought, brilliant, I'll do that. Right. But thank you, Roisin. Great to see you, by the way. But anyway, the point is, because of one, a lot of the stuff that's been going on in the last few months with a lot of the craziness and different channels splitting into different camps as far as the stuff that we don't talk about here, the whole dramas and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
And the method in which it was done. Perhaps I have no reason not to assume that they actually had the best of intentions and were just like, hey guys, why don't we all get on the same page and do this? Cool. All right. But by doing it the way you did, obviously you look at your comments, you can see it was taken by a lot of people as when you use the words, I'm calling you out, I think about like Macho Man calling out Hulk Hogan. I'm calling you out, boy. And then you put the pointing finger. It just feels aggressive. It doesn't feel like hey guys, why don't we like talk about
running
like getting on the same page,
the logos
and
of the channels behind them. You know what I mean? And then saying, oh, it's not a hit list. We just didn't have time to run every major channel. Dude, it was a 4-minute video. You could have run the bigger channels. You could have run them all.
Right.
You didn't have to run every single little channel, but the bigger ones, I would say anybody with, 2,000 followers and above, you could probably run up there in maybe a 9-minute video or something. They have, it's like you said, they came across very, very, very aggressive. And I don't think they should have come across as anything at all. Like I said, send an email, ask for meetings, and say, look, I have an idea of a way we can change the way we do our videos.
But the biggest thing for me that I really wanted to get into with it, and, Best Unremembered, if you're watching, I know you watch the show. I've been supporting you from day one, and I'm not, trying to turn against you based on this video because like I said, I believe I understand where you were coming from. It's like a newbie wrestler trying to tell Hogan how to call a match. It'll never go over well, right?
It just won't. I know you try and understand where they're coming from. I try to think that, but I do believe they were just trying to be, look, if our little channel, like they actually said it, if our little channel can take down a channel like Frickin' Media, that's what got me. Okay. That sentence right there got me. It's like, do you have to use that to get your point across? No, you don't. You don't. The point is that still could have been held behind closed doors, no matter what their intentions were.
Right. So anyway, here's the thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it before I move on. Mm-hmm. Especially because, like I said, if they're listening, I want them to hear this specifically. Okay. My beef actually wasn't even necessarily, obviously concerned with everything I brought up, but my beef specifically was with the fact that, like I said a minute ago, they put all of this research into what they do when they're doing the Frauditor videos, but they're making this video. They probably, I would say, if you want to tell us, make a friendly recommendation to us of how you think we should do certain things, then let me make a friendly recommendation to you. If you're going to make a video and you're going to do all this research, then the very first logo you showed probably should not have been Maggie's, because Frauditor News Network hasn't put a video out forever because she's got freaking cancer and she can't physically speak right now. So making her logo the first logo you show, like you're calling her out? She isn't even active anymore. Paul of Scotland for 20 pounds. Fully agree, Ray. It makes you the biggest person, and that's why I love you so much. Both of you. Hugs to Blackheart Knight. Can I have an email to contact you, Blackheart Knight? Paul, thank you so much for the 20 pounds. Here's your happy dance. All right.
I'll just say quick. Good morning, Rasheen.
Yes. But especially because I talked to her yesterday about the show and the Saturday show ending and all that. And then I see that, and her logo was the first logo they showed. I'm like, her channel's not even active right now. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. And I think that's probably part of what set me off, was that the poor woman is sick. She's not even making videos. And you're going to.
Yeah. Mark Baggett, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mark, and good morning, Robert. I just don't, that was just the worst for me, was that part too. And it could have been handled so much differently. I think they made just big mistakes all around there.
Yeah.
Just because you think you took down frickin' media doesn't give you the right to go around and tell channels what to do. You just don't do it. You wouldn't walk into a high-end restaurant's kitchen and tell the chef how to cook the food.
Yep. Oh, well. So anyway, there's that. Again, both of us.
I think we have a little bit. Yeah, I think we differ a little bit, just slightly, on what their intentions were. But overall, I think the opinion is the same. Like, why are you even putting Maggie's channel up there?
Right.
Yeah. That's,
like at
all.
They
owe her an apology for that. I think they do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And yes. So anyway, yeah, like I said, both of us have been getting, people talking about it to us. So obviously that was the elephant in the room, and it had to be addressed. So we addressed it. And that was it.
Oh, I was all over their comment section.
Oh, I know. I saw.
Wants to know how I feel about it. I was all over their comment section.
Well, honestly, that's one of the things too. One of the reasons why I think you and I get along so well is because, like, in a situation like this is a perfect example where, like, we both agree with the general idea that there were things wrong with that video. Which specific aspects bothered us or whatever, we can discuss that. But ultimately, it's like, yeah, whatever it was, something in there, they didn't handle it well. I think not. You think not. That's it,
Right. Good morning, Highway Star. It's good to see you.
Hey, there he is, Highway Star. Yeah.
Glad you finally rolled your butt out of bed. I'm just kidding. You need your rest. You're retired. You can do that now.
Yes. But I think, especially those two, I think they know, they love and support this channel so much. I think they know where we're at.
Yeah. Do we say good morning to Mark Baggett?
Good morning, Mark. Yes.
Do I say his name wrong?
Mark Baggett.
Is it Mark Baggett or Baggett? I don't know. I don't want to say that. I'm horrible at names. Everybody knows that. So I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying. And Nightman's wife. I don't think I say good morning to Nightman's wife.
Oh, speaking of Nightman's wife, I recently got some stuff from my Amazon wish list from Nightman's wife. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were supposed to thank her when we saw her. Good morning, Greg. I don't know if I said good morning to you either. But what was I saying? Oh, names. Horrible at them. And so I'm trying to get better. And then I'm pronouncing it correctly. Woohoo. All right. I'm trying to get better at pronouncing people's names correctly. So I'm asking them, if I'm not sure, if it's not like Smith, or Jones. Am I saying your name correctly? Okay, if they can phonetically put it in the chat or something, then for me to forget, then I will,
Yeah, there's no problem with that at all. I remember when I was a kid. I think I've told this story on the air before. I don't remember if I said it with you specifically, but my brother, I want to say my actual last name. So let's just say it's Bumpstead. So
Bumpstead.
Yeah, like Dagwood Bumpstead. So
I wonder how many people know that cartoon.
So Blondie, yeah. So my brother, he was a troublemaker.
He was the troublemaker.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Sure, that's the story we're going
with. So when I started first grade, I had the same teacher he had when he was in first grade a couple of years earlier. And the very first day of class, the teacher was like, okay, and when I call your last name, if I pronounce it wrong, let me know. So she's doing all the names, and if they correct her, okay, whatever, and she writes it down. So then she gets to me, Bumpstead, or she goes, Boomstead, and I'm like, no, it's Bumpstead. She goes, oh, you Bumpsteads with your crap, always giving me a hard time. And then I ended up getting punished. She put me in the chokey. She had a back room that was just this tiny little room in the back full of nothing but catalogs of wallpaper patterns. So I had to spend the whole day, because that was back in the homeroom days where your homeroom was all your different classes. So you stayed in basically the same room all day. They even served us lunch in the room. So I just had to sit in the back just flipping through wallpaper patterns all day.
Get out.
Is my punishment for correcting the pronunciation.
Her on your last name.
Yep.
Well, my maiden name is, I don't want to say it, but so I'll think of something.
It's Lazarus.
No, it's not. It can't be that. It's, say it's like
supercalifragilistic.
Albertson. Just say it's like Albertson. Okay. And we would go through, my sister, of course, she went through, and then I got the same teachers, right? So you would think they would remember, because we're not that far apart in age. All right. We're less than 2 years apart. All right.
Right.
So then I would come through, they would say like Albert Stone or Albert Stone. And I'm like, no, it's Albertson. No, it's Albert Stone. They would try and correct me on my own last name. And I'm like, no, I know. It's not that. It's not how you pronounce it,
Right.
So like I would get in trouble from, being sassy with the teacher.
Yep.
So telling them that it's not how you pronounce my last name. And I know. And they would be like, you don't know anything about your name. You're too young. Like my kindergarten teacher said that.
No.
Yeah, my kindergarten teacher was prone to spanking us too. And I would
go
home. Yes. And I would go home and tell my parents, and they were like, well, what did you do for her to spank you? And I'm like, oh, I didn't get in line fast enough. Well, then get in line faster. That's what my parents said. It wasn't like, well, let me go up to the school and tell her off or anything. It was, well, what did you do to get spanked?
Yeah. Well, honestly, though, like that specifically, that was a thing in our generation, like if you come home, what happened to you? Well, the neighbor guy yelled at me and slapped me. Well, what did you do to make him slap you? What's your problem? Nowadays they go there and say, how dare you touch my kid? But back then it was like, well, what did you do to make them want to hit you? What's your problem? Don't you know how to act right?
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, back then it really was that saying, like, it takes a village. It really was the village that was all up in your business all the time. You couldn't do anything wrong. Because by the time you got home, your parents already knew and they were waiting for you with the belt. Well, in my house, it was the belt, but or they were in other houses, they were just waiting for you. But in mine, it was some kind of weapon. So I don't know.
But it was a completely different world back in those days. That's for sure.
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun back then too. So,
well, yeah. But I mean, even like silly things like we were talking about the other day, watching videos about like Gen Xers and what it was like growing up, like in a time when you could go to the store with a note from to go buy her a pack of cigarettes.
And well, you could go buy them anything in that note. You could buy alcohol, cigarettes. I mean, whatever they put in that note, you could buy it. As long as you had money to hand out, you could buy it. That was it. And then they wonder why their kids started smoking. It's like, you know. It was crazy.
And then they had those vending machines that vended cigarettes.
Just sold cigarettes, You walk in, and if you had enough coins, you could buy a pack of cigarettes. Nobody was carding you for them or anything.
Yep. $5 from Billy Yank. I knew a guy named Fred. My boss, Mr. Slate, would always mispronounce my last name as Flagstone. That's awesome. Here's your happy dance. All right, thank you.
My last name, picture like Flagstone, right? But without the E. And you pronounce it Flagston. You know what I mean? So my last name would be pronounced Flagston, but they would always go Flagstone, Flagstone. And I'm like, no, Flagston. And they would get mad at me because I would tell them wrong. It's like, no.
Yeah.
There's no Flagstone here. It's Flagston, you know.
Right.
So by the time I got to like 3rd or 4th grade, I just would stop answering because I'm like, I'll get in trouble if, you know, I mouth off and that's not my name. So I'm just going to sit here. And that's when Sarcastic Ray was born.
Yes. I love Sarcastic Ray, though. She's fun.
And malicious compliance Ray, you know.
But that's another thing too. Like, I don't know, just even the idea in general of like how you and I get along, like, because I've always, because I have a sarcastic sense of humor, I've always appreciated that. You know, that's one of the reasons why I get along so well with Uncle Artie. You know, like I get those kind of jokes. I don't take offense to them. I'm like, oh, you know.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's not. The only thing is, like, in the course of doing this, I've talked to people from other countries, and the sense of humor, the jokes are different. Good morning, Frauditors Terminator. So I have to get used to that and not be like, what? What do you mean by that? You know, because I'll get my hairs up like, what do you do? What? And they're like, it's a joke. I'm like, oh, okay. I got to remember they joke different than we do. That's all.
Right. Well, not just that, but I've also noticed in general, anything with text, whether it's in the comment section or an email or whatever, and I've always had this problem with text, but it's just something we have to deal with in the modern world. You know, that's how we communicate like this. It's so easy because you don't have that, you know, like in your voice, you have that inflection. So you kind of like, hey, I was blah, blah, blah. And you know, they're just kidding. But when you just see it in text, like, wait a minute, what do you mean? And then they're like, what? It's a joke.
Yeah. Text, you
you're kidding.
Tone,
right. Yeah.
Tone, inflection, you know, everything. Facial expression. You can't see all that. So it's like, it's just words. So that's why everybody puts an LOL at the end of a sentence, because they don't want anybody thinking they're mad at them.
Right.
You know, so it's, text is hard.
I'll tell you what, now that you mentioned it, the other day, my daughter was laughing at me and making fun of me because of that. She's like, why do you always put so many LOLs at the end of everything you type? And I'm like, so that they know I'm joking.
Yeah.
Like you just, and she's like, how could they not know? I'm like, what are you talking about? How could they know? And like,
Right. Unless you say knock knock and they're like, who's there? That's the only way you really know they're joking. You know?
My dad was a sailor. He taught me all sorts of oh yeah. That's what they used to say, right? You got the mouth of a sailor. Either that or you got the mouth of a truck driver.
Trucker, yeah. My dad was Army and he had a mouth. Oh, did he have a mouth? But we couldn't repeat it.
Oh no.
Get in trouble if you did. I remember hurting myself one time and I swore on accident and still got in trouble.
Yeah.
Even though my foot was bleeding like everywhere, all over the house, I still got in trouble because I mean it hurt. So I didn't care. I got in trouble because I was hurting anyway.
There was the one time, and I've told this story on the air before, but I'll never forget it, and it's appropriate right now with what you're saying. There was the one time that my oldest son, when he broke his arm, and and it was crazy. In texting, you lose so much in translation. Yes, exactly. But anyway, my oldest son, when he broke his arm, I'll never forget it. One, because when he broke it, like he fell down and he's like, Dad, I think I broke my arm. Like when it first happened, you know how they say you get that. I'm Irish, swearing is a requirement.
Yeah. I like the way they say the F word. They say feckin'.
Right?
Feckin'. And it's like you're not even swearing. It's like I love it. So it's like the feckin', or they say, and the British say bloody. You know, it's like I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times
he broke his arm. And
right. So anyway, number one, as soon as it happened, and he's like that, and you get that like adrenaline rush when something first happens like that, and sometimes it doesn't hurt until like a minute later or so. So that's exactly what happened. He's like, Dad, I think I broke my arm. And he's just standing there telling me this. So I'm thinking, nah, you probably just hurt it. Let me see. And he holds his arm up, and then the thing was hanging.
The bone or the skin?
Broken.
Yeah, he knew.
And
he knew. What does he have, a high tolerance for pain? Or
well, no, that was the thing. Like at that moment, like when it first happened, I'm thinking it was like that adrenaline, like that boom and that immediate numbness that slowly faded into pain. So a few minutes later, as the pain started kicking in, and it was this whole story because there was a huge blizzard that day. We didn't have the car because his mom had the car, and I didn't have the phone because his mom had the phone. So I had to go outside trudging through the snowstorm to find someone that was on their cell phone to ask them if I could borrow their phone to call 911 to get the ambulance to take my son to the hospital. It was this whole big thing. But I'm carrying him down the stairs, and he goes, Dad. I'm like, what? He's like, this is really starting to hurt. I'm like, yeah, you broke your arm. He's like, can I just this one time, Dad, can I please swear? I'm like, yes. And he goes, okay, thank you.
Poor baby. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're not allowed to swear when you hurt yourself that bad. A parent wouldn't allow it because, yeah, I mean, it hurts when you get cut or you break a bone. Breaking a bone hurts. It does.
Oh yeah.
But I was told by the doctor that it's better off if you sprain or break the bone because a sprain hurts a lot worse. You're better off just breaking the bone. I'm like, oh, so I got lucky. He's like, yeah, because the sprain hurts a lot worse and it takes a lot longer to recover from.
Wow.
Yeah, because people think with a sprain, like, oh, it feels better. I can get up and I can, walk on it or use it or whatever. So they keep like re-injuring it and stuff. And with a broken bone, you wear a cast for a while, it knits back together and you're done,
Right.
But a sprain hurts a lot worse, right? On initial, when you sprain it, and then it just keeps hurting, while it's healing because you need a lot of blood flow and stuff to heal the muscles and the tendons and all that stuff that got sprained. So there's a lot more involved with the sprain. That's why it hurts worse. Right. Better off just breaking your bone. You better hope you just broke your bone because the pain involved is more with a sprain. I was like, that's interesting information. Thanks. but that still hurts. Can you do something about it? Yeah.
Hey, that doesn't hurt as bad as that. Okay, cool. It still hurts. Fix it.
Yeah, Nyman's wife. I broke my wrist because I fell backwards over my cat. Not Leo, was my old cat, AJ. He didn't like thunderstorms. And I was mopping my kitchen, and I had my headphones in, so I didn't hear him or anything. And I was mopping and I was moving backwards, dancing a little as you do to your music. And then boop, there he was, solid against me because he doesn't like thunderstorms. So I just fell backwards and tried to catch my fall, and I broke my wrist. So yeah, that's the other time I broke it. This is a funny story. I was moving a television, and it was one of those old TVs, not these new ones that don't have the big old back on them. This was an old one. It had a big old back on it, and it was real heavy. I shouldn't have been moving it by myself, but I'm stubborn, and when I want to do something, I want to do it. I don't want to wait around for somebody to help me. It's got to be waiting forever. And I wanted to clean. So the only way I could do it was to move this TV and clean underneath it, And so I pick it up. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it pretty good. And then I go turn to move it, and it starts wobbling to fall. And I'm like, I'm not letting this TV fall. So it starts falling on this side, on my right side. So I go under it to try and catch the fall of the TV. Well, it didn't work. The TV slammed against my wrist, slammed my wrist into my leg. So that was the worst pain ever. And I'm like, are you sure a sprain hurts worse than this? Because this is pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke my wrist and my thumb with that one.
One of the things that they always say is if something heavy, if you're dropping something heavy, your best bet is to just let it fall.
That's what they told me, just let it fall. And I'm like, are you buying me a new TV then?
Well, who's going to buy you a new wrist either, But
the insurance company did.
well, yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, the insurance covers the physical injury, but not the TV.
Right.
Good point.
It's like, I didn't want it. I don't know.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I know. That's why they tell people.
Like if you had a PS5, would you let it fall? Or would you try and catch it?
But that's why they have to tell people to try not to catch the stuff, because everyone is like, no, you're going to break my thing. I can't afford a new thing, So your first initial reaction is, it's the same thing with falling, right? My son broke his arm because he tried to catch himself. You broke your arm because you tried to catch yourself. But that's, Blackheart and I mentioned it earlier, and I was talking about Macho Man, but if you go to pro wrestling school, the first thing they teach you is to go against your instinct and how to fall. So that you won't get hurt. Like, there is a way to do it that you won't get hurt. And it's not to catch yourself. It's let yourself go down, but protect your head.
Yes. Yeah, because I've since then had to, because my health has declined, as we all know. I've since had to go to physical therapy. And one of the biggest things they've been and have harped on me about was teaching me how to fall. And at first I was like, what the heck does that mean? Everybody knows how to fall.
Right.
No, they don't. You fall, you actually hurt yourself. How many times have you hurt yourself falling down? I'm like, probably every time,
Right.
And because you try and brace yourself, you get tense up, so things get hurt, sprained, torn, So actually it is just fall. You're scared the whole way, but just fall. So that's what I do now. If I'm falling, I just plop to the floor and they're right. You don't really hurt anything. You loosen and you just fall.
Right. The other thing that they say that's important is to always make sure your head's up so that you don't bash your head on the ground,
Yeah. You don't do this. Never do this. Don't listen. If somebody tells you to tuck your head, don't. Keep your head upright. Just keep your head upright. Look around as you're falling. Oh, that's nice. Don't look up. Don't look to the sides. No. because then your head can, hurt, against your shoulders, or like you can, hit your head on the floor or hit your forehead, whatever. So just keep your head upright, straight, and just fall like a puddle. Just
like a sack of potatoes, just drop.
Just drop. That's all it is. If you feel like you're gonna fall, just drop. It's the best thing for you. Drop, like, just loosen and fall. It's hard to do. It's hard. Oh, I failed so many times trying to learn how to do it because it's scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
So now that reminded me of the last time I fell, because it was a major event for me. I mean, I fall down occasionally, but the last time I fell, I remember it. It was a couple years ago. It was here when I was still living full-time in Wisconsin. I was at my job and I was walking, and there was ice in the parking lot of where I had to walk. And I was walking, and it was early in the morning, so it was before they salted anything. I slipped on the ice and I fell backwards. And I was okay. I bumped my head a little bit. How can you not fall for Ray Ray? Oh, I absolutely have. Absolutely. That's right. The greatest. All right. Yes.
That's so sweet. Thank you. That is so sweet.
Wrestling school. Are you saying it ain't real? It is real, but they definitely know what they're doing. I always say, whenever people give me a hard time about the fact that I like pro wrestling, is I always say, look, if you're watching a movie, you know everything's fake, but you don't think, oh, that's fake. But guess what? They don't pause it to have a stuntman come in to do all that crazy stuff. The wrestlers in the ring are doing it live right in front of you. So it's like, right. You can't.
It's like you told me when, I was like, what's wrong with you watching that? But you know what? We had the debate, and like any debate, I come into it with an open mind, and it's like watching a movie. It's entertainment, Right. So why not? You watch movies, you read books, you suspend belief for that. Why can't you suspend belief for this?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's true. Doesn't mean I'm going to watch it, but yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah. Carry on,
Right. And again, the fact that it's a live performance, it's like theater.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so, I mean, you like it. That's fine. It's entertainment for you, like you said. So I didn't even look at it that way. Good morning, Methodist Dave. How are you? I wasn't looking at it from your point of view. It's like you watch movies, you read books, you watch TV shows. That's all them acting.
Right. That's all fake.
Belief. Right. It's fake. You suspend belief to watch those. Why can't you suspend belief to watch wrestling?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like nobody's calling up Disney and complaining that there's no such thing as a lightsaber, or that Thor's hammer isn't real.
Disney princess either.
Right.
Or Prince Charming. So yeah, you're correct. I didn't look at it from your point of view, and I told you that. So I'm like, all right, I don't have to watch it. So if you like it, feel free. I mean, I never downed anyone, go ahead. I did. I was like, why would you watch that? But you're like, well, why would you watch a fake movie?
Right.
Like, oh. See, I can go into things with an open mind. I can even have my mind changed. So you've changed my mind on lots of stuff. So it's like that when you have open mind.
Yes. Exactly. But so anyway, yeah, that's always that's always well. Now you got me thinking about that. But we were talking about falling down, and I was telling the story about how I slipped on the ice and I fell, and I did kind of hit my head a little bit, but it wasn't bad or whatever. But for 50 years thinking it was real, come find out it's fake. Oh no. It's not fake. Like if they, if you fall off a 20-foot ladder, it's not like he had a harness on or whatever. Like they're actually doing it.
They're still doing the moves. It's just they're coordinated. You know what I mean? And somebody can still get really, really hurt.
Oh yeah, people.
If one misstep, and somebody can get really, really hurt.
Yeah.
Jason, where's Sherry today? Is she working or is she sleeping? That was Gravity's finisher. He fell for it. Oops.
That was Gravity's finishing move, and I fell for it. Yes. That's awesome, Uncle Artie.
So you fell, you hit your head a little bit, and did you get hurt anywhere else?
Well, but here's the here's the thing. So at that job, like, I have to kind of paint the picture a little bit because it was early in the morning, and at that particular job, there were 4 buildings, and mine was the furthest one away, and there were only 2 people in that building all day, every day, me and my boss. And the first hour, especially this particular day, the first hour is me in the building by myself prepping everything while he's in the main office doing all the paperwork for the day. Like, because he gets all the orders. We were selling fertilizer, so he'd get the orders and he'd do all the paperwork for all the orders for the first hour while I prepped everything for him to come. Then he'd show up, and then we'd start, I'd grab up, I'd jump on the forklift, I'd start loading the pallets, loading the trailers, blah, blah, blah. So I was the only person in the building, the furthest building away in the morning. So for an hour. So there was nobody out there in that area but me. So I'm walking, I slip on the ice, I fall down. Okay, cool. But the ice was so bad that to get up, I slipped on the ice and fell down.
So you fell backwards and forward.
Right. So, like, as I went to get up, I went like this, and then bam, and right on my face. So the back of my head hurts. The front of my head hurts. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll roll over this way. Because there was nobody around. There was nobody to, help or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll go on my side. And then, so what do you think happens? I go down this way. It was like, on one hand, I kept hurting myself. And on the other hand, I started to laugh at myself because it was like a cartoon or like an old movie, like trying to get a slip fall, like Charlie Chaplin, slip fall. Every time I tried to get up, I would slip and fall more. I ultimately had to army crawl on the ice to a dry spot where there was some grass just to be able to stand up and get into the building.
But didn't you slip doing that? Weren't you like...
Yeah, it was not easy.
Oh my God, how was your face? You said you fell right on your face.
I had a big bump on the back of my head when I was done, and I had like a red mark here. And I had got frostbite on my hand the day before with the propane tanks, so that was fun.
Excuse me.
The mass transit. Okay. Speaking of passing, remember telling other channels what to do. Here's a pro wrestling reference on how bad that can get. The mass transit incident. See, for those of you guys who know pro wrestling, Blackheart Knight is really into it too. So
I have no clue what the heck that is. What is the mass transit? Should I look it up?
Well, I mean, it's just there were a lot of. See, if you don't know that much about it, the lore behind everything, but there have been several times, like, for example, even now you have AEW and WWE, but back in the day, there were 2 main companies that were doing wrestling, which at the time, I guess, was still WWF. And there were a couple other ones, but there was the Monday Night Wars, where you had like, when are you getting married, or is Ray Ray your manager? Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I gotta finalize my divorce before I worry about marrying somebody else. I ain't trying to get married anytime soon, that's for sure. Actually, you know what? I was thinking about that now that I've been married, like the legal ramifications of the contract is not anything that I'm in a hurry to get back into.
I'm not trying to contract with the state of Hez, okay?
Right, exactly. The romantic part of it, that's a different thing. But as far as that is like, that could be, especially when, I'm just saying in general, like the idea of it not, I mean, just in general, the idea of getting married again is not anything that I'm in a hurry to do anytime soon or at all. We'll see. I'm still young, I guess. No, I'm not. I'm 50. Oh, now you reminded me how old I am.
Stop talking.
Leave it to Uncle Artie to remind me
how old I am. Stop talking.
51.
Stop talking.
At least I don't have permanent brain damage from when I fell. Or do I?
I think you might have hearing loss because I'm telling you, like, stop. Just move on back to the wrestling thing. So maybe I'll just look up what that was. What was it? The mass transit incident. It sounds like one incident, and you're talking like it's.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I know what he's talking about, but I don't.
Mass transit incident.
Go back to the mass transit incident. Yes. Exactly. Okay, so
thank you, Blackheart.
You highlighted it. Anyway, the mass transit incident. When you talk about mass transit and cars and trains and trucks and planes and automobiles, I don't remember. I do now, but I don't then. And it's pro wrestling is a whole nother thing. But I'll tell you what. So, I'll go back to the Monday Night Wars. So it was the two different wrestling companies had different shows on the same day, and they were in competition with each other, and they were pushing each other to, you got to start making your show more like this, and I got to make my show more like that. So I just took what he said and went a completely different direction with it.
I have it.
There you go.
Maybe I hope this is the correct thing. Took place during the Extreme Championship Wrestling house show on November 23rd, 1996. Can you ask Blackheart if that's correct?
Yeah, you're right. You're talking about the right thing.
17-year-old Eric Koulis was an aspiring professional wrestler who used the ring name Mass Transit. Was seriously injured in a tag team match against the Gangstas. The most severe injury occurred when Koulis was bladed too deeply by Jerome New Jack Young, severing two of his arteries. Hold on. Come on. Did he die?
Well, but the thing is, and I guess this is what threw me off, was the way he prefaced that was, speaking of telling people how to run their thing, and I'm like, well, I could see that during the Monday Night Wars, but mass transit getting bladed too deeply, I mean, I guess maybe because somebody told him he had to be bladed. I don't know how that ties into the telling someone how to run their show.
What does bladed mean?
Okay, so back in the old days, they called it color. If you were having a match and they told you they wanted color in the match, basically what that meant was they knew the audience goes nuts if you hit somebody so hard they start bleeding. But you don't want to actually do that. I know it sounds crazy, but in pro wrestling back in the old days, this was considered standard practice. What you would do is you would get a tiny little piece of a razor, and you would tape it up so that so that it wouldn't be a deep cut. It wouldn't be a bad or dangerous cut, but you would cut your forehead a little bit, just a tiny little cut on your forehead that you put in there on purpose so that because in your forehead, when you're sweating and you're in the ring, the blood starts pouring everywhere and it looks horrible and gross. And in reality, it's just a tiny little nothing cut. But yeah, he bladed too deep, ended up hitting arteries. Nightmare. And that's why they don't really, I mean, it still exists, but it's nowhere near as big a thing as it used to be. Like, for a while there, blading was completely banned in WWE for a long time. Like, because a lot of people did get hurt too bad doing it.
Oh, they also cut him inside the ring. Okay.
Well, that was the thing. It was somebody else cutting him. That's a big part of the problem. Most people used to blade themselves. Like, there's a lot of old footage, as you can see.
Yeah, he had the same people they were wrestling against beforehand do it. And then inside the ring, New Jack held the prone Kulis by the head and cut him across the forehead using a surgical scalpel.
Yeah. Not good. Yeah, because sometimes when you watch the old footage, you could see, like, if you look close, you could see when the guys do it. Like, they'll get hit in the head and then they'll fall out of the ring where the audience can't really see them. But sometimes the cameras would pick up, they'd go like this real quick, and you'd see that they just gave themselves a little cut, you know. But yeah, when somebody else is just slicing you open, yeah, that's not cool. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So talking about people bleeding everywhere and cutting themselves open and causing loss, injury, or harm. Speaking of,
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's not just like, okay, wrestling isn't real. That's hurting someone. That's like deliberately hurting someone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not, like I said, that's pretty much in the old days. Like, they don't really do that anymore because of incidents like that. But yeah, because when I watch wrestling, I, try to Mick Foley's fall against The Undertaker, most hardcore match ever. That was a whole nother story too. That was, Undertaker didn't want to do that. But Foley said, I'm jumping off the top of the cage. No matter what, I'm doing it. So you can either stand there and look like an idiot while I jump off, or you could make it look like you threw me off. But either way, I'm going over the edge. So Taker was like, okay. Wow. And then it ended up becoming one of the biggest things ever, because that solidified, one, Undertaker as a brutal monster because he threw the guy off the cage. And two, it solidified Mick Foley as the most insane wrestler of all time because he jumped off the freaking cage. Like, yeah, that was insane. And he only broke what? Like, he lost what? Like 2 teeth in that match, got knocked unconscious, and poked a hole in his lip.
Seriously, how would I know?
No, I know you don't know, but it was bad.
Yes, I'll agree with you. Yes, it was. Yes, he did that. He broke his pinky too, I think.
I think that was the least of his worries at that point. But anyway,
well, I don't know. You're asking me what he broke, and I'm I don't know. I think he broke his pinky. Okay. Good morning, LaDonna.
I was asking Uncle Artie because he's already brought it up. But yes, LaDonna Rogers, welcome.
Good morning, Juggernaut. Cynthia Karenshaw. Good morning. Ikis, good morning.
Ikis, what's up? Good to see you.
I'll officially say good morning to Molin Hole.
Molin Hole.
Yeah, even though that compliment was like top notch.
Top notch.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else came in. If you did and I missed you, please raise your hand because I do not want to miss anybody.
Well, let's start.
Society Red. Good morning. Who?
And let's throw out a quick happy dance for everyone who's just joining us and everyone that's here this morning. All right. Glad to have you all here today. Yes. But I'll be this is true. For a long time, because when I was a kid, we went to wrestling all the time. My dad used to take me all the time. That's how I fell in love with it. But there was a period, especially in the 90s, they called it the Attitude Era, when it got so brutal that I didn't even want to watch it anymore. I stopped watching for a long time because of stuff like the stories we're talking about. Like, I was watching it for fun, like for the show, for the good versus evil, and watching the good guy win and all that good stuff, that comes with it.
But the person's name I'm trying to remember. Back when I did watch wrestling when I was a kid, and I'm sitting here trying to remember it. Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? Like,
he died from his gigantism killed him.
Oh yeah, so he had that the one genetic disease, right? Yeah. Oh, when did he die? I didn't even know.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. In fact, you can see when you watch some of his old matches, especially in WrestleMania 3, you could tell that he already was having a lot of problems health-wise during that match. And even in The Princess Bride, like the way he moves around, he's like a lumbering giant, so it works for the character, but it was because physically he couldn't really move around too much, you know. But yeah, everyone says that he was a great guy.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. Then I didn't know. Honestly,
well, no, it's
no. He passed. 1993. Where the heck was school? I was in school. I was in school and working a lot back then. Yeah, so probably I just missed it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, we all loved Andre the Giant, you know. So God bless him. You know, the gentle giant, right? You see stuff like.
All right. Sorry.
Well, no, that's it. I mean, he is the one. Like everyone talks about, like if you know and understand pro wrestling, Andre the Giant was the bridge. Hulk Hogan might have been, you know, the one that took it into the stratosphere, but nobody would have ever even saw Hulk Hogan if they weren't turning it on, and they were turning it on because they wanted to see Andre. And then this Hogan guy started showing up too. But it was because of Andre the Giant that all the eyes started going towards wrestling because everyone loved him. You know, so good morning, everyone, and all in chat. Good morning, Edward. Great to see you. All right, great to have you here.
Good morning, Edward.
Used to freak out coworkers when I'd call out what was going to happen before it happened. Ric Flair was the one I knew it was going to happen. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Greg. One year, it was so everybody was pissed. What I used to do, and this was like in the early 2000s, because like I said, during the 90s, I took a hiatus from wrestling because it got too brutal even for me. Like I said, I like having fun watching the show, but when dudes were literally intentionally hurting each other, like I didn't want to watch that. But anyway, when I came back to it, I would have a WrestleMania party in my house every year. I'd have all my friends over, all my buddies. We'd order a couple pizzas. We'd get some hot wings. We'd watch WrestleMania, and it was a blast. We'd have some beers, you know, good times. Well, one year in particular was the last time we did it. One of my buddies who always was a huge, insane pro wrestling nut. He had an entire, like, you know, those big jugs of wine, like those huge jugs of wine. He had one of those. So as WrestleMania started, he started sipping that and sipping that and sipping that. And after a while, he started calling the matches, getting drunk and calling the matches. And everyone else there, we're all just sitting there watching this. And he's like, no, he's going to give him a headbutt. No, he's going to give him a clothesline. No, he's going to throw him over the top rope. I'm like, dude, will you shut up and let us watch the damn show? We don't need you telling us what's going to happen before it happens. Vilified Freedom for $5. No way. Hated Andre. Loved the Ultimate Warrior. Left when they removed Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was fantastic. Here's your happy dance. All right. All right. Yes. Yeah, man. The Ultimate Warrior, he was great too. He was the one Hogan passed the torch, you know, when Ultimate Warrior beat Hogan. That was a big deal back in the day.
Hate's a strong word, though, vilified. I'm teasing.
Well, here's the thing, and I get that. Like, people who weren't fans of Andre, Macho Man, you can't beat Macho Man. He was one of my favorites of all time. But the thing about Andre goes back to like what I was saying with his health issues. Because of that, he really didn't do a lot in the ring. You know, like he physically couldn't. So like somebody come in and he just smack him and then sell it like he knocked him out, you know.
It's just smack him. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the exaggeration for me. It's like it is. It's like the overacting exaggeration when something happens. Like you said, when they go to get smacked, like they come on and then some guy would be like, oh,
yeah,
you know, like he's dead because he got smacked in the face. It's like,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. There's actually a very famous match with Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels wrestled Hulk Hogan, where because of exactly what you're saying and because it was Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels purposely went out of his way wanting to make Hogan look ridiculous.
Really?
To oversell everything Hogan did. So Hogan would like kick him lightly in the stomach and he'd jump like 6 feet in the air. And then he'd jump like 6 feet in the air again. And, like purposely making it look bad.
Yeah, right.
When Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant, yeah, that was it. WrestleMania 3. That was the
man, who could body slam Andre the Giant though?
Well, that's why it was like the biggest moment at the time. It was the biggest moment in wrestling history, you know, like to this day, that body slam, when Macho Man wrestled Tito Santana, the same WrestleMania, and then years later when Undertaker wrestled Shawn Michaels, best match ever, in my opinion.
Okay, so they would do more than one one match in a what do they call it?
In one show?
In one show?
Well, it depends. One of the best WrestleManias was the one, I think it was, I don't think it wasn't 3. I think it was maybe 4 or 5, but the one where Macho Man won the belt, it was like an elimination tournament. So on one show, Macho Man had to wrestle, and then when he won, then he would wrestle the next guy, and then and he had to wrestle a bunch of different matches and work his way down.
It's like if you want the pool table in a bar, you know, you got to keep winning to keep the pool table.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of a thing, yeah.
Internet said, as a retired pro wrestler, I can't watch wrestling as a fan. I see it as someone that has been behind the curtain. Take a look at the picture I sent you in Discord. Okay.
All right.
Donna Ray says it's real but fake at the same time. So it's like, real.
And well, here's the thing.
Rake. It's rake. We'll call it rake.
There you go. Well, they call it kayfabe. That's awesome, Jared. I'm sorry, I got Discord on my phone. Damn, I forgot about the Road Warriors. I like the Rockers until the Road Warriors and Demolition came around. Yes, great stuff. Great stuff. Oh my goodness. But here's the thing. The Nacho Man. Oh yeah.
4 Horsemen.
It was like the 4 Horsemen. Yep. One of the things, like with Macho Man specifically, I remember getting excited for the Royal Rumble. Yeah. But yeah, Macho was one of the few ones to have. Oh no, I watched
that on Netflix. I think I saw that when I was walking past the TV.
It is very sad. If you're going to watch that movie, put on your seatbelt and grab a couple boxes of tissue because it's a true story and it is extremely depressing.
Hi, Leland Squirrels.
Hey, Founder of Follies, Ray, Gig, Jonic, Mark Back, and Vilified Feeder, Mongolites, Bound Girl, Stupidity, Paul Cohen, Everett Candelier, Highway Star, Internet God, My Tiny Chihuahua Life, Leland Squirrels is in the house. All right. All right. We were just reminiscing about the old days of pro wrestling. Had a lot of fun watching it. I started watching wrestling again. Cody Rhodes is pretty cool. I like Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. Yes, the new stuff actually, like, they're starting to get back. See, this is the thing. I think it's in the past couple years with the rise of AEW, snap into a Slim Jim. The fact that AEW got so popular kind of forced WWE to start putting out a better product to compete with them. because at first they didn't think anyone was going to care about AEW, and then all of a sudden they were like great, and they got Chris Jericho, and they got is Randy Savage a Slim Jim guy? Yeah, that's what I would say. I would do a Slim Jim. Yes.
Didn't he always go around in that like fake fur coat or whatever, and that cowboy hat? Or
he always wore the craziest outfit.
Yeah. He's very flamboyant. Like
yes.
What's his name? That singer, Liberace.
Oh yeah, Liberace. Yeah.
Not as flamboyant as Liberace, but the flamboyant type nature.
Well, yeah, that was it. But a lot of
need to clean out the litter box.
That's right.
I like that a lot. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, so we talked about wrestling.
Yeah. Well, no, actually,
you guys can keep talking about it. I just don't know much about it.
Well, no, but I mean,
I don't watch it. I don't.
It ended up being an interesting conversation.
It is interesting. Yeah. I mean, I went and looked up the incident. I'm going to read more about that, though, Blackheart. So thanks for turning me on to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to really delve into that because it seems like an interesting story to go back and follow, because that boy lied to get in, lied about who trained him, alienated the locker room, and then this happens to him. It's like, is it karma? Or is it just because like you just didn't do things right, And it seems to highlight the importance of doing things the right way. And
in pro wrestling, they have this thing called receipts. And
now, don't think they did then.
Well, no, they did. A receipt is when like you do something in the ring that actually hurts the guy you're wrestling against, and the next time they wrestle against you, they're going to give you your receipt.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant receipt, like prove that you trained or prove.
Yeah, no, not those kind of.
He said that he was 19. Somebody remembers him saying he was 20. Dude was 17.
Wow.
And then he said somebody trained him, and he was untrained, completely untrained, going into that ring.
Yeah.
His guy's neck snapped. I mean.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No. So I'm pretty sure now they go ahead and make sure you're.
Well, they have like wrestling schools and stuff.
Yeah. The age you say you are, and that you're actually maybe been through their school or whatnot. So
I think the last person that really get away with that would have been Mick Foley. Because
the last person is the one that got really hurt, because it puts eyes on the situation. You know what I mean? It puts eyes on the fact they need to put a system in place, checks and balances,
Right.
So it's good.
Yep. What Mick Foley used to do is he would videotape himself back in those days with the VHS recorder, like jumping off the roof of his house and landing through a table onto another guy, and then showing that he didn't hurt the guy. And like sending those tapes to Vince McMahon, like, see, I know how to do it. I taught myself. And that's how he ended up getting the job. Oh, well, I guess it wouldn't have been Vince McMahon. It would have been Paul Heyman, but you don't know the difference. So, yeah.
You don't know the difference. No, I don't.
Well, yeah.
You don't have to say it like that.
Well, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying because I as soon as I said it, I thought, wait a minute, she doesn't know who Paul Heyman is. Like,
oh, I don't. You're right. I don't.
Yeah, but I didn't mean it like that. But yeah, so anyway, but the point was that I don't even remember what the initial point I was trying to get at was. Oh, somebody had mentioned about how in a comment about how like what the heck was it? I don't know. I was explaining about how like the brutality of it when it did start getting out of control. I started stepping back from it. Didn't like watching people. Now, if somebody gets hurt, it was an accident.
Right. Yeah.
But when they were intentionally hurting people, that's when I started like, I don't know if I want to watch this wrestling stuff anymore.
I don't like that. Yeah, I have intentional hurting. I'm not into that stuff.
Right.
It's not for me.
But now it's fun again. So I love watching it again.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, though. That's the main thing. Even if people don't agree with it, or I don't agree with it, like I don't find the value in it, doesn't mean dick. All right, you enjoy it, and that's what matters.
Right.
So, whatever. There's probably stuff that I do that you're like, what are you doing that for?
Well, anybody has what they like, what they don't like. People who eat Vegemite.
I've never even tried it, but I'm sure that's the one thing. I'm always a person who says you have to try something before you say you don't like it, but I'm sure Vegemite is going to be one of those things that I'm not going to try before I say I don't like it, because I'm pretty sure, judging by your face, your face alone, when you tried it, I'm not going to like it.
Right? Oh man, yeah, that stuff is horrible.
It left your mouth green. It's like anything that sees your mouth green, I'm not gonna know.
Well, not just that, but even just the idea behind it in general. Like, oh well, what is it? Oh, it's dead yeast. What?
But it has a lot of vitamin B. So does a vitamin pill, and I don't have to sit and try and swallow
the taste of it. You just swallow it and you don't taste anything. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
dearie, dear.
Hi, JC Landry. I saw someone say hi to you, so I don't want to miss you. Here you are.
Hi, everyone. Hi, JC. Great to see you. Welcome. Oh, I remember what it was. Somebody made a comment about Vegemite is crap, and I'm an Aussie.
Yeah. Nice crap.
Somebody made a comment about how they couldn't watch it as a fan because they know what's going on, like behind the scenes or whatever. See, me, I look at when I watch.
Oh, Juggernaut said that.
Okay. When I watch.
He was a wrestler.
Yes. When I watch wrestling, movies, when I listen to music and magic, especially, to Australian News Now Voodoo smack Hez for bad mouthing Vegemite. All right. Now you guys are talking. I get to smack Hez. Here you go, buddy. Ow.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, I see it the same way. I look at it. What's that?
I keep thinking I'm muted when I'm sneezing, and I'm not.
Oh, sorry. Bless you. But so anyway, no, it's like, okay, like magic tricks, okay? If I know how a magic trick is done for me, it doesn't ruin the trick for me. What it does do is it makes me appreciate a magician who does it well. When I'm watching them do the thing and I know what they're doing, and even though I know what they're doing, I can't see it. Even though I'm looking for it, I know that guy's good at what he does. So that's how I am with pro wrestling. I'm what they call a smart mark, right? I know what they're doing. I know the secrets behind it. So when I'm watching it and I see someone doing it, I'm looking for it and I don't spot it. I know now this guy's freaking good at what they do. Cody Rhodes, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, nowadays you got so many new guys that are good, a lot of them that are crap. But it's like, it actually makes me have a different kind of appreciation for it because I do know. So it's like, oh man, that guy, I know what he's doing, but he does it so freaking well. Like, I don't know. And I guess, like I said, even like when I listen to music, because
they can get themselves out of a box in like 30 seconds or whatever, when their hands are tied and they're handcuffed and nailed to the box inside.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
How do you know how they're getting it? How do you know how they? Never mind.
There was a famous story about how what Harry Houdini used to do. They'd tie him up, they put the straitjacket on him and they'd tie his wrists together and they'd bind his feet and they'd curl him up in a ball and they'd stuff him in the box and then they'd put all these chains around the box and they'd lock it up, and he already is backstage smoking a cigarette. And that was his timing. The amount of time it took for him to smoke the cigarette is how long it took for him to escape. And then when he was done with his cigarette, he'd put it out. Then he'd go back through the trapdoor into the thing and then pop out.
Yeah, I know. It's all about trapdoors and all that stuff. So it's,
Did we have $5 from Uncle Artie's Brown Grill of Stupidity?
Oh,
Uncle Artie,
sorry.
That's okay. I challenge Hez to a Vegemite eating contest. Who wants a shot at the title? Oh, yeah. It's the bottom line because Uncle Artie said so. Here's your evidence. All right. I'll tell you what.
Can I accept that challenge?
I'll tell you what. If we were doing it for, if there was an incentive, like when people were paying me to eat Vegemite, if we could actually do a collab with both our channels where we actually had, like, we each get a jar of Vegemite, and every time someone donates, we have to take turns. That actually could turn into a fun little thing, but I don't know if I want to torture myself that much. Anyway, what did Vilified say? Thanks, Artie. We know you. We love you, Uncle Artie.
A collab would be good.
I remember not liking the Undertaker when he first came on the scene. Come down to the ring in a coffin, get to the ring, grab him by their throat, slam him to the ground, and then it was over. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Long-term, Undertaker ended up becoming one of the greatest wrestling characters ever. But when he first started, not only did you not like it, other wrestlers hated him because his whole character was no sell anything and win. So these guys that have been wrestling for years and paying their dues and going through heck and, all these things happening to them and all these injuries and all this stuff. And then this new kid comes in and you're going to beat the crap out of him and he's going to no-sell your punches and pretend they don't hurt. And then he's just going to choke slam you and win. It was like, he can't do that, but that was his character. And I mean, ultimately, when you look back long-term, he ended up being one of the greatest characters ever. So
right,
it worked. But at the time, yeah, I could see people not liking that.
Yeah, because wrestling is all about the overacting and the, things like that. So it's like, why is he just standing there? He just got punched. He should be acting like he's on his way to China right now.
right.
Falling and stuff. Hi, Carrie. Good morning.
Hi. Welcome to the show. Everybody knows we're having fun. It's Tuesday morning. Talking about.
We're currently discussing wrestling, Carrie. Something I know nothing about. The chat seems to know a lot, and Hez knows, of course, a lot. So Hez knows a lot about a lot of things.
I mean, I try to read a lot, But when I was a kid, my dad used to, we had the full Britannica, but it wasn't like, hey, what's this? And then we would look it up. My dad would just sit and just read the encyclopedia like he was reading a book. Like he would just sit there and read the encyclopedia. So that was what I was raised with. He's playing classical guitar. He's playing jazz guitar. He's reading the encyclopedia. He used to he was the smartest guy I knew. I remember, I'll never forget this because it was so insane to me, because I was an adult. I was married. I had kids. I was living on my own, and I was studying to become an ultrasound technician. So I'm going to school and I'm learning all this stuff about, physiology and biology and all this medical terminology and all this stuff. And I go to visit my parents for Christmas. We would take the kids to their house every Christmas Eve. We'd spend it at my mom's house in Chicago back in the day, And I'm telling my dad the story about that. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, what kind of stuff are they teaching you there? And I'd start talking to him and he'd be like, oh, you mean the way that the mitral valve is and the way it pumps with this and the heart? And I'm like, well, wait, you know what that is? He's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I know that? It's like, dude, is there anything you don't know? That was my dad.
Probably your mother's middle name.
Yeah.
Forgot that.
Her birthday, their anniversary.
Their anniversary, yeah, because that's not in the book. So.
Yep. Oh, no. Yeah, but I mean, it was
accept that challenge or not? You never said.
Like I said, if it could be a thing, like if we could actually work out a thing, but just to sit and eat Vegemite, no.
No.
No. If we could turn it into some kind of a collaboration between the two channels and actually make it a thing, then we could have fun with something like that. But any excuse to not eat Vegemite, like when I came here and I didn't bring everything from Florida, including the Vegemite. I couldn't fit that in my bag, even though the jar was only this freaking big, and I easily could have had it in my pocket. I intentionally, accidentally left it in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if it's over 3 ounces, you can't bring it on the plane. So.
Well, yeah, who knows if you put a lighter up to that stuff, what might happen? I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Oh, yeah, lighters. They seem to have a thing about lighters.
Right? But anyway, the point is, any excuse to not eat Vegemite, I'm with it. 100%.
See, that's why I won't try it. And I'll just say I don't like it because you're not selling me on it. You're just
and I'll tell you what. I promised her, that I would never, because she never wanted it to. I promised her that I would never show her real face because she never wanted it on the internet. But I have video footage of Maggie the first time she tried Vegemite. I was there. I'm the one who gave it to her. And oh man, you think I didn't like it and that my face looked horrible. I mean, she did not like it. Like
no,
at all.
Oh no, I felt bad. I'm like, no, but she wanted to so badly to try it because she's one like me. She'll try it because you can't say you don't like it, Right. I just based on as you sold, you're not. Nope, you sold me off of it.
Yeah,
like I can't ever try it, but there's people that do like it. There's what's his face?
People in Australia.
No, there's
well, we got a bunch. We got
somebody else likes it.
Him. It. Yeah, he said that before too. I don't know. I don't know, but it seems to me like the kind of thing that you have to start when you're young, There
and that donate just for you. What? I'm not sure what this means.
As we'd serve there and not donate just for you. Yeah, I don't know. The way you worded that, it's like, okay, yeah, there? But no, but what?
There? Is it we'd sit there
and not donate they'd sit there and not donate just so that I don't have to eat Vegemite.
Right. Okay. I understand now. Yeah.
Okay.
I looked at the keyboard and I'm like, yep, that's a spelling mistake I make all the time. Sorry about that, Donna.
That's all right.
I'm not trying to embarrass you. Chef, good morning.
Good morning, Chef M80. Great to see you.
Yeah, that's like to. Oh shoot! Did we miss we missed her dance?
No, we talked about her a few times today, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and throw it out there right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Olé. All right. Speaking of the cupcake dance, and Maggie, again, for anyone who's just joining us, I spoke with Frauditor News Network yesterday, and her and I have come to the agreement that between her medical issues and me only having the kids on the weekends, the Saturday show isn't going to be a thing anymore. We might do specials every once in a while on a Saturday, but just having it be a full-time regular weekly thing, it's just not possible anymore. So no more Saturday show, but we'll still be here Monday through Friday. Yeah. Absolutely, positively. All right.
Yeah. But it's okay. Kids first.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, health first for her, kids first for me.
Yeah.
Real life is more important. Always. The prioritize.
So, let's see. There's a question I wanted to ask you, but it slipped my mind. Oh, I was, how you watch other stuff to get away from watching Frauditor stuff.
Yes.
There was this show A&E, and I from A&E on my feed yesterday, and I don't know what it's called, but it's about people at the airport that have trouble with when they get on airplanes, when they're booking and stuff. So I watched it, and it was all these different problems. Well, these two people brought these turtles, these little tiny turtles, in these little tiny, pet carriers. Excuse me, gosh, the hiccups. I'm not drinking, I promise. And got all the way to where you're going to board the plane. Somehow made it through security, made it through getting their tickets and all this. And they were like, they said it was all right. How did we make it this far? As long as it could fit under the seat, they said. They're like, the only animals we let are for a medical emergency. Like if it's a medical, like it's your dog, or,
right.
Your seeing eye dog or something. And so they had to go through this whole rigmarole, and finally they let these little things on the plane. They're like, as long as they don't come out of those little carriers and start trying to exercise or anything.
Right.
I thought that was hilarious. Like, so like next time ask.
Right.
Because they tried to say they did, but they found out they were lying,
Of course.
They had to get the pilot involved in everything too. I'm like, they delayed this whole flight just to find out if these two little turtles could go on this flight.
Well, see, I think a lot of people don't understand, and especially, I mean, you're a student of history, so you know, but like in general, like, especially back in the old days when nobody cared, like with the boat travel across the globe, invasive species and bringing, like traveling with animals can be a major issue and cause huge problems. So it shouldn't be just like, I don't know. It just seems to me like because of that in general, like the idea of traveling with an animal at all is something you're going to want to like figure out what's going on and not just show up. Oh, by the way, I got these animals with me.
Right. Most people with cats, dogs, birds, they figure it out. They call the airline. They don't just book online and call it a day. They call the airlines and figure out, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Is this going in luggage? Is it going with me on the plane? A lot of people with cats bring them in a carrier on the plane. So like, they, give the cat a little tranquilizer and
bring
it on the plane. But Leland, there was no water in these little tiny, little round carriers they had. So I guess they were coming from O'Hare too, or Midway, by the way, with Southwest. I guess they didn't need to have water. These little tiny squirrels. And then they got mad too. They're like, they brought us lovebirds on their way back the last time. So that's why we're bringing up turtles. She wanted them for her little terrarium. And I'm like, and she has cancer. It's like people throw that in there like,
oh yeah, of course.
Feel bad. Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then this other story really got me. This woman was traveling. Now, in my mind, she wasn't that big. Like she would sit down and she would probably stay maintained in her seat. Like I don't think she would spread over to anyone else's seat. Okay. But when she got up there and she checked in and everything, and she was sitting down, and they came and got her and told her she had to buy another seat because she was too fat. And it embarrassed her to no end, first of all. And second of all, it's like, you can't just come up to somebody and say, you got to buy another seat. Like, she's like, I don't have the money for that. I had a sudden death, and that's why I'm going to LA. You can't just make people like all of a sudden buy a second seat,
Right.
And they're like, well, if the flight isn't full, we'll refund you. She's like, you're not hearing me, So she started acting like a real Karen. I mean, oh God, she's like, I want the manager. And the woman's like, I am the manager. you know, and
right.
It just boiled down to the fact that she wanted a refund. So what do they do when they give you a refund?
I don't know. I've never gotten a refund.
Where do they put the money back to?
Anytime I've ever gotten a refund, I had to wait for them to mail me a check like 6 months later.
Oh, usually goes back to the card that you booked on. Which happened to be her parents' credit card.
Oh,
so
no.
Now she's sitting there with no money and no way to book even a first seat on another airline, let alone a second seat. So she really got into Karen mode. I mean, she was like the boss Karen now after that.
Oh, no.
So, oh my God. So finally she called up her grandfather. She like resigned herself to the fact they were going to make her buy the second seat, and she got him to pay for it. So she's like, I work for a lawyer and I'm suing you. And she started taking down all these names. She's like, I want your name. And she's writing it down. I want your name. How do you spell your last name? And I mean, it was crazy. I was like, okay, but if it's their policy, they have to follow it. But when do they determine? Who determines if you're bigger or where that cutoff is? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I've seen like in some roller coasters, they'll have like seats from the roller coaster outside so you can see if you're going to fit in them before you even get in line.
But people don't look at themselves as too big.
Well, I mean, it depends on the person, because what I was going to say while you were telling that story is because I've heard of that before. It's not like, I didn't know that was a thing. And when I first flew to Florida, I honestly was afraid that they were going to do that to me, that I was going to get on the plane and they're going to be like, you're too big, you need to buy 2 seats. But I mean, that never happened. I got in there and flew, and it was fine.
Right. That's why I said it varies by airline, I would guess, because she flew Southwest.
Right.
And are they looking out in the crowd and going, because another guy on Southwest was a different scenario. They were going from LAX to Vegas. He was way big, and they didn't make him buy another seat. But it's policy. So I guess it's who's looking at you and saying if you're too big or not.
Yeah. I don't know how they make that determination.
Right. So, I mean, to me, she didn't look like she needed 2 seats. I've seen women who look like they need 2 seats.
Right.
Or men. I've been squished in between people who needed 2 seats in the middle seat when I've flown alone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a seatbelt because you are not going anywhere. So she was not big. I would say she was probably 5'5", 5'6", and she probably weighed about 240 or 250. So I think she would fit in a regular seat. She wouldn't have spilled over, as long as she wasn't like,
Yeah. Like
I just don't think that she needed to buy another seat. I think it's in the eye of the beholder, actually. And I think the woman, the first manager, I think she kind of did look at her and say, because the way she was looking at her the whole time was like, ew, fat people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The second manager was much kinder, much more compassionate. And I thought at first she might be trying to, like, she was going to change her mind. But the other manager was looking at her like, don't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she did it.
Wow. That's crazy. But again, yeah, that is something that I have heard of.
They have the policy, but I can see it for people that are like big, 500 pounds or whatever. You have to buy another seat because then you need 2 seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if somebody's like I didn't see a need. You know what I mean? She wasn't going to be in another person's seat. You know what I mean? Like I looked at her legs. She wasn't going to sit down, and they weren't going to spread. Like lightning and thunder weren't going to be like into the other seats. You know?
Right. She
was mostly carrying it in her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a lot of women do. They carry a lot of fat in their stomach. You know, she looked like she was carrying most of her weight in her tummy. So they give her an extension, seatbelt extension, she would have been fine.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know, but that is what it is.
She was crying. She was so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah, it would be too.
They came to get her out of the waiting area. They're like, you need to buy another seat. They didn't even try and like, ma'am, can you come to the ticket counter? Nothing. Like, you need to come and buy another. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm filing a discrimination suit when I get back. And I'm not stopping till I win because this was ridiculous. You know, I'm like, go, Karen.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to act the way she did either.
Right. Well, that's it. There's always a proper way to handle any situation, and it always goes both ways. Like maybe the people who instigated it didn't handle it properly, but your reaction to that could have been handled better as well.
I do understand why she was upset.
Oh, yeah.
I can get it because she was embarrassed to no end. Yeah. She was feeling like she was going to be stranded. You know what I mean? Because they weren't budging. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to be stranded somewhere. If somebody was making me buy 2 seats, I'd be like, well, I don't have the money, you know? Right. And they're standing there like, well, we can refund you, but we're refunding the card that's not even yours. So you're going to sit here without any way to buy another ticket anywhere else.
Right.
So I could see that she was probably just acting out of fear. Like, like she's scared. They embarrassed her. And
any other crazy stories from that show?
Yeah. Not really. No, just showing like passengers that were having some difficulties. One guy was like really sick, like he had gone to the emergency room. And then he had a flight home, which was the flight going from LAX to Vegas. He was the big guy, but he wasn't feeling well, but he wasn't accepting anything they were offering him, like a wheelchair or a seat or anything. And then he was flying standby. So then he's like, well, you can make sure I get a seat. You can do that. That's the least you could do. Like he was mad at them because he didn't feel well and decided to fly standby.
Wow.
He was like feeling so entitled, you know. And then they're like, well, why don't you go get something to eat because the plane is delayed? She's like, it's at gate 2. And do you need me to walk you there or get a wheelchair? He's like, I graduated college. I could figure out where it is. But then he never went. And she came back and checked on him. And she's like, did you get something to eat? Get a drink of water? He's like, no, I didn't. And he's just like kind of holding up the wall, you know? Yeah. And she's like, okay. And then he says to the camera, you think she would have offered me at least a glass of water? Like, it's their fault. I was like, oh man, this guy's so entitled. So then the gate agent looked at the other one and she's like, I wonder if he's too sick to fly. So they went and told him that, sir, we think you're way too sick to fly. We can't take that risk if you're up in the air and something happens. And then all of a sudden he was feeling much, much better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As you were telling that story, it made me think about, so many of these situations that we see. Again, just getting back to what we always talk about, but like, it specifically got me thinking about these times where it's like, I'm an adult. I don't need you to tell me where I can or can't go. And then they go in the place where they're not supposed to go. It's like, well, maybe you're not. And maybe we do need to tell you because obviously you're walking into an active crime scene or you're walking into the employees only area or this or that. Mm-hmm. After arguing, you have to tell me where to go. And then they go in the wrong place and prove that they do need to be told.
Mm-hmm. But you know what all I could think yesterday when I was watching her and her problem? I'm like, uh-oh, Frauditor origin story.
Yep. Frauditor origin story. Yep. That's awesome.
That's what I kept thinking. Oh no, Frauditor origin story. I want to keep her in my brain because I'm like, if we see her again, I will be like, oh, I saw her. I know where I saw her.
Right.
But yeah, it was interesting to see how they deal with very difficult passengers, and the entitlement that they seem to have, except for her. She wasn't entitled. She just wanted her seat that she already paid for.
Right.
Which her seat was really cheap. She got a flight for $110. I'm like, how?
What the heck?
How? Yeah. What the?
There probably was a really small seat then.
No, it's a normal plane seat, I would imagine.
Yeah, no.
Hi, King Pokey. How are you? I was like, what the feck? How'd you get a seat for $110? I mean, my flight from Chicago to here wasn't that much, I don't think, considering the distance.
Right.
So, but
well, I mean, it does depend. Now,
right.
See, for me,
probably cashed in miles. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I went to Florida, I flew Southwest. And then when I flew back here, I flew.
See? And you said you were worried that they were going to make you buy an extra seat. No, and they didn't.
They did make me put on a seatbelt extender, but yeah, they didn't make me buy an extra seat. But Spirit, I flew back Spirit, and
no seatbelt extender.
No, the seat was big and comfortable, and the seatbelt fit just fine, and it was great,
Okay, but they didn't charge you for an extra seat. See what I mean?
Right.
And
either of them, yeah.
Right. So what gives? You see what I mean? That policy is all over the place. It's like they need to have, like, if you're a woman and you weigh this much to this much, then you have to buy another seat. There needs to be a clear-cut policy. They're not. If you look at somebody and you think they're too fat, charge them an extra seat. That's not a policy in my mind. That's just asking for trouble.
Well, that's why, like I said, like with the example of like if they actually had like actual airplane seats like outside so that you could see, like if you look like you're someone who wouldn't fit in the seat, here, try sitting in one and see, and then they'll know for a fact, like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work, for this person or whatever. But I mean, I don't know.
Leland, it wasn't her card. It was her parents' card. And they refunded the money back to it. And it doesn't appear on the card right away. The refunds don't just appear there. It takes a few days to get there.
Right.
So she was feeling like she was going to be stranded. Because she herself personally, then she threw around that she was a single mother, as they do. So, which is neither here nor there. I'm like, well, that's not their problem. That really isn't their problem.
Right.
So I don't like that either. When people throw around they're a single mother, they're this, they're that. That isn't anybody's problem. That's yours. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's certain
I understand it's hard to be a single parent. My sister was one, okay? It's very hard to be a single parent. I helped her out. I know how hard it is. But you can't go around just getting what you want because you're a single parent, is what I'm saying. Like, that's not something you throw around. Like, my friend has cancer. Let these turtles on the plane.
Right.
Using somebody else's cancer to get what you want. That's not the way it works. I'm sorry. It's not the way it works.
Yep. That is a factozoid. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting show. You guys should check it out. I just don't remember what it was called. But I'm sure you would be able to find it. It's an airplane show.
Right. It happens. But yeah, how do you it's interesting, a lot of the stuff, because like I don't really follow, we're not to bring it back up again, but that's one of the only things I watch on TV is wrestling. Like, I don't really watch TV much anymore. So there are so many shows out there that I'm not aware of, and it is interesting sometimes to just come across something and be like, oh, wow, this is fascinating,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember a few years ago, I was just flipping around, like, I think it was Netflix. I don't remember what network it was, but just flipping around, looking at things and just randomly clicking on stuff. And then I discovered a show called Tulsa King. It's a Sylvester Stallone show. And I ended up watching the whole season. And I was like, oh, I enjoyed it, but I don't think anyone else watched it. I don't think they're bringing it back for a second season. I don't know.
Which channel was it on? What?
Yeah, I don't remember. It's some streaming service.
Oh,
Paramount Plus, maybe. And then they brought back Beavis and Butthead, and it was great. But now I don't know if they canceled that too, or if they're bringing that back again.
Yeah. Once you're done talking, I'm gonna tell Greg something about that.
No, go ahead.
They are literally not allowed to. First of all, wheelchairs probably wouldn't fit on the plane in the aisle because they took my rollator from me because it wouldn't fit. So I had to do the same thing. I had to hang on to the seats and practically hop to my seat, limp and hop. So, and the attendants on the plane, they're not allowed to touch you for liability reasons. So that's why she didn't get any help once she was at the plane door. That's what they told me. For liability reasons, they could not help me to my seat. They could take my bag and put it up here, but they couldn't actually help me to my seat for liability reasons. So it makes you angry, but that's what I was told.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard in airplanes because there's not a ton of room. I mean, unless you're in a different country and you're taking an Airbus.
Wait, you said it was on a streaming service and there was only one season?
So far, there's only been one.
Right,
but
you gotta wait for them to come out with another one. That's all.
Well, I don't know that they're going to, though, because apparently there was a bunch of people in the cast that were complaining about Stallone and giving him a hard time. And so now they don't know. Yeah, that's just online rumors
about a lot of those streaming shows.
Right.
For real, is Unclean Hands in here?
I didn't see him.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that today. That's right.
What?
There's a new arrest warrant for JT News Now.
Oh, nice. Sounds good to me. Well, it's not that we can't talk about it or whatever. It's just, taking a day to just talk about whatever. If the conversation leads to that, then that's cool too,
Okay. Folks are off the plane. Really? That's nice. They did not help me at all. They did not. When I was getting off or on the plane, they had my rollator waiting for me at the door, though. They did have that. So that was great. So I just had to get to the door and then I was able to grab my rollator. So and I was in row 10, so it wasn't that far to get off the plane because they had kept moving me up. So.
Okay.
But they said on their Alaska Airlines can't touch you for liability reasons. If you fall down, you could say they pushed me,
Right.
As a frauditor would do. They pushed me.
Yeah.
Why'd you push me? Yeah.
That's assault. I'm going to call the cops and have you arrested and sue you. Yeah.
It's a pepper. Yeah, Paul, you should. It's a good idea. I didn't. It was a mistake. Even though I had a rollator, I should have got the wheelchair. They kept asking me, "Are you sure? It's a long way." I'm like, I got my rollator. They're like, "You should get a wheelchair," and I'm like, "No." Because you know me, I'm stubborn with the wheelchairs. I'm like, no.
Right.
I should have.
I don't need a wheelchair. I can walk. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can't use help.
Right. I should have got the wheelchairs. Next time I will. If there's a next time I fly, I will remember that and get the wheelchairs or the wheelchair. I don't need two. I don't need two seats.
Well, right. Yeah. No.
I don't overtake the seat. There's room on either side.
Yes. Oh my goodness
right,
gracious!
Paul, I should have. You were smart. I really should have. Yeah. Erica, how are you today?
Erica's here. What's up? Good to see you.
Yes, you're world's biggest fan.
World's biggest fan. World's greatest fan. That's right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Crime Dog McRuff. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it anyway. Yeah.
The TV we have is a smart TV.
What happened?
The TV we have is a smart TV.
Yes.
TV and a Roku. Yeah, it's a Roku TV.
Yes.
So all the apps are on it, and we can download more apps if we want to watch TV and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's great because you get yourself a Roku TV and you can watch, as long as you have internet access, you can watch TV and you're pretty much set, you know.
There's free TV on it too.
Yeah, Roku channel.
Local channels. Free. Yeah, I have free local channels, and there's a bunch of other channels on there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we don't have like TV cable anymore. We just have internet, and our bill is, I could prove it to you if you want. Our bill is like $60 a month. That's it, 60.
No, yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that with the streaming services, I mean, if you want to buy every streaming service, it'll end up costing you more than cable. But if you just want to be able to watch TV, you know, you could get by real cheap as long as you have internet access, you know.
Right. We buy the Amazon Prime is included in the Prime membership.
Right.
And then we just get Netflix. Oh, and I got Discovery Plus because, you know me, I like Josh Gates and all that stuff, paranormal stuff that's on there. So, but
yeah, that's all good. All good.
And it's still less than the almost $200 we were paying just for the TV portion of that bill. I'm like, I can't even believe it. And I don't even watch TV. I never, ever watch TV.
Yep.
Ever. If I want to watch something, I watch it on here.
Yeah.
On Netflix or on YouTube, I mean. So
Right.
Oh yeah, and I pay for premium on here. So
yeah. YouTube premium. Yep.
Yeah. I hate ads. I hate them.
Yes.
I will not have my crap interrupted because some ad comes through. Sorry. You still get money for that. Don't worry. It's in your, still get a percentage of it. So hi Lisa.
One of my favorites is what was I gonna say? Because I got the YouTube premium and obviously the Amazon Prime as well. What I was thinking was like going back to like when we were younger and there was only 3 channels. You know, like
there's 2, 5, 7, 9,
11,
32. That's 6 channels here.
Well, yeah, but I mean the networks. NBC,
2, 5, 7,
CBS, ABC, yeah. WGN. Well, 9 was WGN. Yeah, that was local.
No, WGN was not just local.
Well, they have a huge broadcast area, but I mean, everybody didn't see the same thing we saw in Chicago watching WGN.
Well, no, it just depended on your market, but WGN was a lot of places. Why do you think there's so many goddamn Scrub fans?
Well, yeah. I'm talking about, okay, yeah. The point I'm trying to make, though, is back when TV was basically just whatever was on was what was on.
Yeah.
And your only choices were whatever they were playing. And if they weren't playing something you liked, then too bad. You just had to deal with it. When you look at something like the Roku channel, it's like, that's how spoiled we are now with streaming services. Because now it's like that, but you got 200 channels on Roku to choose from.
Yeah.
Free, and you can't find a damn thing to watch.
No, I just can't. Plus, you know what bothered me about cable too when we had it was ads.
Yeah.
Ads on cable that I'm paying for. Paying a good penny for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why am I seeing an ad on this channel that I am paying extra to have? Fuck you. No, I'm not doing this anymore, you know.
Right.
Because you can buy Netflix, you can choose without ads or with ads. You know, it's up to you. You pick. Same with Discovery Plus. You pick. You want ads or no ads? I don't want ads. I hate them. If I'm paying for it, don't shove a commercial in my face.
Right.
And even the local channels aren't free because you got to pay for it. You got to use them with your cable. It's like, no. I shouldn't have to watch commercials then. I'm already paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. All right, rant over.
Well, no, I thought about that line from The Wall, you know, even in 1980, just 13, but it was the exact same problem. I got 13 channels of shit on the TV to choose from.
Yeah, that's what it is. And now you have 1,300 channels of shit to choose from.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't watch TV. So, except on here, and I'll watch, you know, whatever, you know, my Discovery Plus on here. So,
right. But let's see. So where are we at? I was thinking of because we're at about 2.5 hours, so we still got a little bit of time. But you know,
it's your turn to pick the topic. I told you about the airplanes.
Well, I was thinking because I could kind of use some time to go you know, over there and do that thing. So I was thinking because we were talking several times about the idea of like filming in these places, but like with permission. And I was thinking maybe we could go back for retro time's sake and watch when News Now Voodoo audited a post office.
Oh, yeah. You need a potty break?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't filibuster for that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you guys mind if we do that so we can take a break? We don't have a choice because we have to take a break. So
that's right.
Thank you guys. Okay. Appreciate it. Love you.
Yes, love it. Absolutely.
Hey guys, I'm here in front of the post office. I'm getting ready to do a First Amendment audit with this post office here, see if they violate my right to be a douchebag in public. Alright, so here I am in front of the boxes. Lots of boxes here, of course, because it is a post office, so they're gonna have a lot. So that makes sense. But around this corner, we have more boxes. Okay. All right, plenty of boxes. That's good. That's good. Keep the customers happy. But around this next corner, I know there's going to be some tyrants trying to violate my rights. That's right. Watch this. Right around the corner, we got no tyrants, just more boxes. That's right. There's another section. There's another section, and I'm sure as soon as I get there, they're going to see I'm recording, and they're going to slam me to the ground and tase me and violate my rights and be tyrannical beasts. Here we go. It's more boxes. Okay, all right, so they got post office boxes in the post office. Of course they do. All right, so let's see, what else do we got here? I know around this next corner I'm going to find tyrants. They're everywhere. You can't get away from the tyrants, sir. More boxes. Okay. Well, I'm sure I'll find some tyrants. Here, you know what? Here, let's try and find poster 7. Here wait a minute. No outgoing mail! How dare they put this sign up here? No outgoing mail. I knew the tyranny was on display. Those horrible, rotten, no good scumbag tyrants. No outgoing mail. That's no law. They can't enforce that. I can put whatever I want in that box. What is this here now? Look at this crap. a camera filming me right next to a sign. Like they think that people are going to want a job. Be my servant. Get a job being my servant, you public servant. That's right. I have a press pass, so you know I'm a legitimate journalist. All right, let's go in there and find out what else is going on. Violating my rights. At least finally I found poster 7. Here it is, guys. Poster 7. Here it is. I finally found poster 7. So you see, there's all the writing and the words and stuff on there. And poster 7, and now I'm gonna show you that they put it up. They tried to hide it from me, those scumbag tyrants. But I know better than to fall for them. They're supposed to be my servants. But they put tape on it, taped it up on a piece of chalk cardboard. Anyway, poster 7, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest poster in the world, poster 7. It gives anyone who owns a camera the right to do whatever they want, whenever they want, with no consequences. That's the great thing about poster 7. It's like magic. Here, watch. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna film poster 7 for you, and I'm gonna show you guys. Now watch this. Okay, now look how I do this. See, I'm gonna put my camera right here. See, right in the photographs for news purposes section, and I'm gonna show you the part that you need to read. See, I'm gonna film it. Watch. I'm gonna put my camera right here, and see all the words beneath my camera. Those don't matter. That's just tyrannical gobbledygook to try and violate your rights. But the reality is that this part that's showing is all you need to read. All the rest of the writing on here is just some tyrannical lawyer top-splitting gobbledygook. Anyway, here's the section where they sell stuff. These signs, they don't have any CRF codes on these signs either. So I don't know what they're trying to pull. These guys are tyrants trying to steal our money, and look. Look. They got a camera. How come they can have a camera? What is the post office cam backing now? A bunch of cam backing Karen post office people? If they can film, I can film. There you go. So now watch this. I'm going to get some service. I'm going to get a public servant to serve me and do what I say because I said it. All right, public servant, come to me now. Come on, public servant. Where are you? Wait, where's the public servant? Why is there nobody here? I know what's going on. They are refusing me service. They saw me filming and they decided to be tyrants and to refuse service to me. There's no other reason why there wouldn't be someone here right now. Could you even begin to imagine any reason why someone might not be at this desk other than to violate my rights, me specifically because I'm holding a camera? How dare they? I'm going to sue the Department of Transportation, the Department of Motor Vehicles. I'm going to sue the city. I'm going to get Chili to write me a lawsuit. All right, so I'm outside now and just chillaxing. And it was a big fail, horrible fail, terrible post office. They were evil, rotten, no good tyrants in there, all of them. Every single one of them was terrible. They failed miserably. This is just unacceptable behavior. Hiding from me, refusing me service. I don't know why no one showed up to help me. I have a camera. They should do what I want. Just because I have one. They fail, miserable. Hey, wait a minute. Hezokuai, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing here? And why are you looking at my leg? Hey, look, man, I know I'm under house arrest, but I just snuck out just to do a quick little audit. No, Hezokuai, no, please. I know I should have stayed in the house. I'm under house arrest. I get it, but no, please, don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me, Hezokuai. No, don't do it. No. Okay, now we're driving back home. Okay, I won't sneak out again. Okay, I get it. I'm supposed to be under house arrest. I'm supposed to be under house arrest. I know. You're taking me home. We're in the car. There's nothing we can do about it now anyway. Oh, come on, give me a break, dude. I'm sorry. I'll never sneak out again. I promise. All right, guys. Well, I don't know how much longer this house arrest thing is going to last, but I'm going to get out of it. You watch. that you join me on the next episode of News Now Voodoo auditing things. But yeah, First Amendment audits. I have a press badge. I got the handcuffs and untied shoes. I know, Hez. You don't have to show them every time. All right, goodbye. Have a nice day. Give me money.
It never fails to make me laugh. It never fails.
I had so much fun making that video.
Give me money.
Yep. That was so much fun to make that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because you had permission.
Yes. It was so difficult to get permission too. I asked.
But wasn't the post office closed when you did that though, actually?
No. What happened was the one that's do I have this on backwards? My brain's okay.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
That particular post office had like 5 counters, and the one counter was closed. And that was the whole point, was I had him go to that counter, and I purposely went out of my way to film it so that you could see the closed sign on it. And he's like, I know why there's nobody here. It's because they didn't want to be held accountable and the tyranny and this. And it's like, no, the sign says closed. But I purposely had him ignore the sign, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, the actual post office itself was open. But yeah,
that was funny. I liked it.
Well, that was like when he audited. Well, he audited Buc-ee's, but what was the other place he audited in between? Publix. There's no privacy in Publix.
There's no privacy in Publix. I remember that one. That one was funny too. He's never failed to make me laugh. That's like every time. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. It's
still funny, dagnabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The good old days. Well, we'll be coming. He's not retired yet. He's still here.
Oh yeah, nobody wants him to retire. I mean, no.
Mm-hmm. What leg it's
okay, little Chihuahua. Guys, little Chihuahua, my tiny Chihuahua life has a live tonight at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on her channel. She has a new channel name as well, My Tiny Chihuahua Life. I put the link up there in the chat. If you guys don't have the new link, it's there. Live tonight, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Love it.
It's only her second live, so we want to be there to give her some moral support and cheer her on. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's Highway Star putting his own link in there because it's just Highway Star.
Of course.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, Highway Star. I love you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love you.
Yes. Big supporters of the channel. Absolutely. Love you guys.
That's not why I love them. I love them because they're good people,
Yes.
They're really good people.
I'll tell you what, that just as a general subject, like the idea is like by doing this, as long as I have, and the time you've been with me as well, just seeing the same people in the chat every day, but after a while, you really do get to kind of know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it isn't just random names in a chat. Like know these are good people. You know that they got good hearts. And it's like you build. Yeah. It's social media. You build social, networking and relationships with people.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you see them, they become family. That's what we were talking about that one day. It's like they become like family to you. Family you choose, and you just you want, it becomes where you if they're not there, you notice, you know what I mean? Like you actually notice. Like this morning, I'm like, where are they?
Right.
Like Erica, she doesn't pop in. I'm like, oh, where's Erica? And there's certain people like you start if they're gone a couple of days, you're like, where are they? Like what happened to them? Are they okay? So then I'll send an email, are you all right? Things like that. Like I don't see Donna, at least pop in and say hello because I know she works.
Right.
Then I'm like, is she all right? It's like you just start wondering because you see the same people, they become like family, and then
In fact, I remember just yesterday. I think either yesterday or the day before. Oh no, the day before was Sunday. Now my days are all mixed up. Recently, you and I were just talking about where's Chef M80, and then we saw him in the chat. It's like, oh, there he is. All right, So yeah, but it is the Rash family. That's when we say that, we mean it. And I don't know. It's just it's a nice thing because I always like to come up here and say like, oh, every morning I get to hang out with you guys and I love it. But I really do. It is way more than just
the good part of this job is getting to come here every day. And no, I understand, Chef. I do. I wish I could help, like people that are struggling with, things in their lives, like looking for work. I wish I could help. I am good at writing and editing resumes, though. If you need help with that, I am good at that. So people used to send me their resumes all the time and I tweak them and stuff. So let me know if you need help with that. But I wish I could help further. I hate to see people struggling. But this is the best part of our day, is getting to come here and spend time with you guys. So I know things have been a little difficult for Hez, but he'll get back in the swing of things shortly, and it'll be back to where it was with the drawings and being able to do the mega dances and things like that. So you just got to bear with us a little bit longer and things will get back to normal. Y'all have been so patient. I appreciate that.
Right. And honestly, this is a thing like more kind of like a little bit of a behind the scenes kind of thing, but just in general, like, because I have mentioned before, and you are talking about it now, like since I moved up here, all of my equipment is still back there and eventually I have to go pick it up. But that's always been like, once I have everything back, like you said, then I could get back to the normal process, like little things like with the sound effects and this and that, like that's all part of the equipment that I have over there. But yeah, once I get all that back, everything's just going to go back to, basically what it was. The set behind me, obviously, I still have to come up with something. Just a blank wall is boring.
Yeah, we know you're still owed the price. As soon as you can send it.
Who was that?
Still owed Paul Cohen's price.
Oh, yeah. You see, and that was the other thing I was talking about. In fact, just yesterday, I finally mailed out Dib's stuff. I got a microphone that I owe Blackheart Knight. But in the process of me moving up here, so much happened so fast, and I had to change all my plans last minute that I had to leave basically all my stuff back there. So that's another thing. Once I get back there and I get all my stuff back, then I can. But I do have, and this is what I said, Dib. I do still have.
Dib too. That's another one I haven't seen in a while. Dib.
Yeah, I just got an email from him a few days ago though about it. But I still got some of these cards, the lenticular ones, like the Pete Bonds one, and I still got a few of these.
What was the prize, Leland? Do you remember what the prize was?
I still got a few of these bingo cards laying around. Mm-hmm. I was able to bring some of that stuff. So at least for now, in the meantime, I could send out some consolation prizes of, just like little packets of these. And the prizes probably were these, to be honest, because it was just the grand prizes were the microphone, which it was Blackheart, and I don't know if there were any other big prizes that I gave away. It was all these little things. That I still need to mail out.
Yeah, and if it was Paul Cohen, do you remember what the gift was or the prize was? If it's a dollhouse, I can mail it though. I'll get another one. A voodoo doll. I can mail it. Yeah, no, I get
nobody won, but nobody won a voodoo doll. They won baby voodoos.
Yeah,
they won baby voodoos, but not
That's
the
what
actual.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
Don't argue with me.
No, I thought you meant like one of these. No. I'm like, there's only one left. Nobody won it. I would know that.
Voodoo doll.
Yes.
Like I think.
Yeah, I got a box of like 50 of them in Florida.
Graham Graphene just owed a red one. I just don't have his address. So
right. Well, and that's another thing too that I also because we haven't done it, since I've been here. I haven't been doing the giveaways and stuff because I don't have anything to give away. But also a reminder for people who have won in the past and haven't received anything yet, don't forget, because even without all this, I always say this, I don't keep addresses because I don't want to even potentially accidentally dog someone. So if you've won something in the past and then you won again, don't assume I know where to send it. Let me know. Send me your address again so I can make sure that I send it to the right people in the right place and all that.
Hold on, Highway Star. That's not it.
Well, I got his address.
Well, I need it because he said that he still owed the red one. So I want to make sure he gets it. I want to make sure people get those at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, that was one of the things. I have a big case of baby voodoo dolls in Florida that I was getting all the ones I was sending out of. But like I said, when I came here, well, for those of you who know the story, I'll tell it again, basically, for anyone who doesn't know. I had everything all set up and planned for my trip, and it was all good. And then at the last minute, when I went to pick up the rental car, they threw in an extra $500 charge at the counter. And it was like, I don't have an extra $500 with me right now. I mean, I did, but that was the gas money for the drive. I would have spent all of that. So I had to change all of my plans at the last second. And just because I didn't want to lose this place, I'd been fighting for how long to get back to my kids, right? So I wasn't going to lose that opportunity. So I just grabbed a bag, hopped on a plane, and came down here with whatever I had in the bag. And so I wasn't able to bring all my equipment. I wasn't able to bring all my prizes, all my stuff, big boxes of voodoo dolls and, all this other stuff, whatever. Like I couldn't do it, So it was always just a matter of as soon as I get back, pick up my stuff, then I'll make up for everything. So I apologize for anyone. Please don't think that I'm slighting anyone or that I'm not, trying to do what I'm supposed to do. But at the same time, life happens and you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with, So thank you guys so much for being patient. I love you guys and I appreciate everything. And especially, people like Leland. I always point out that she's been here since literally my very first broadcast. She was here. Unclean Hands was there too. So many wonderful people that support this channel so much. I don't want to make anyone feel like, I don't care.
Unclean Hands?
Yeah, where's Unclean?
Where's Dib? Where's Unclean Hands? Where are they?
Where's
Graham? Because I need him to send me his address.
How dare you people sleep? I could get you Graham's address. There's certain people who I've been in more than normal contact with that I have all their information.
Oh, still. Maybe he had radiation today. I don't know. I'm sure he's fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just saw him yesterday, and he was all good, joking around, having fun. Graham Garfield.
Oh, I meant Unclean Hands. I know Graham's fine.
Oh, crap. Yeah, duh.
Graham's always okay.
Yeah.
The Bobs, they'll protect him.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said I don't think he's sleeping, Chef, because he's in the UK. I hope he's working or maybe taking a stroll or something in the afternoon. This is probably about 4 o'clock there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's about 4 o'clock. So anyway, I think it's about time.
It's all good.
It's almost 7. What do you want to talk about now?
Well, I was thinking about, talking about all the subject we've just been talking about was making me think about, again, I have been, this is one of the things behind the scenes, because, what?
I always start 36 is super happy dance. Yep, let's hit that like button.
That's right.
Montrose, help us out. Come
on. Right. I've been going back and kind of redesigning and going back over the card game, because a lot of people liked it, but I stopped doing it because there were some people that had issues with it. But for the ones who did like it, I feel like instead of my original plan was to just, I'm sorry, what?
I'm excited. No, I'm excited because
everyone loved the card game. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I've been doing is I've been trying to rework Series 2 instead of going with my original idea, which was to basically just do an updated version of Series 1 to make it more of okay, I know for a fact that, this person, and this person, and this person are cool with it. So these are the ones that I'm going to focus on, and instead of having like it would be more like what they call expansion packs, right? So like you have your initial set, which was the 110 that I was selling. And then now it would be narrowed down to just booster packs, but it would only include ones that I know for a fact are okay, like Unclean Hands. Like he liked it so much that he used a picture of his card as his avatar for a while, so I know he's with it. I know Blackheart Knight's with it. And in the new set, I could put a News Now Dumbass card. I could do a News Now Voodoo card. I could do a Baby Voodoo card. Like all these things that I didn't have in Series 1 that I could update that would still keep it, to where I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. But
within the realm of permission.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see them. They're going to be so cool.
Oh yeah. That's a lot of fun. Cool. Yep. Yeah, so that is another thing I've been working on kind of behind the scenes a little bit. I didn't want to talk about it too much because I remember last time I mentioned it, everyone was like, "Oh, well, when can we get him? When can we get him?" I was like, "Whoa." It's because like the first series, I spent forever working on them, but it wasn't until they were done and I physically had them in my hands that I even announced that they existed.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying not to talk about it too much because I don't want to get so many cool you gotta wait now, it takes time, because I have to, and Graham will attest to this because he was gonna do a card set of the Bobs, so he asked me how and I showed him how, and then he worked on it. I don't say we worked on it together, he did all the work, but I told him how I did it and everything, and then he was like, wow, this is a bit much, man. Like this is what you do. I'm like, yeah. But it is fun and they are great. I mean, the quality is amazing and people love them. So I'll give you permission to make one of Josh, but he has to have his teeth.
Yeah, I don't know how many he's got there in the front because, probably what, 1, 2 teeth there in the front.
I don't remember, but I think the original series had a BSBT card. I don't remember that.
I don't think it did. I don't recall it having a BSBT card.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I can look. I've got a set.
Yeah,
I do. I have a set. I can look myself.
There you go.
Yeah. sauce. Forgot.
Yep. But I mean, I could still obviously have Glenn Serial's butt card. That was always popular.
Yeah, missing teeth and has to be wearing the Lions shirt. That's all we ever see him in, is that dang Lions shirt. Like,
yep.
That thing, it's probably ready to walk away on its own because it probably never gets to see the inside of a washing machine.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. I love it.
Permission from each tooth.
Permission from each tooth.
Yeah, I like that.
That's great. Oh, two people. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
True, but made his way.
Yeah.
No idea. Is that true?
Yeah. That was that Telecline video I played. That was her most recent video, was talking about that. But I mean, it's weird with Glenn now, because it seems like he hasn't learned his lesson, but he has toned it down a lot. You know, like he was at 11 and he's turned it down to like 2. He's still there, but you know.
Is Mr. 2 gonna miss any court dates because he went to Vegas and didn't stay in Washington like he's?
Oh, is that a probation violation?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, is he now? Dang it. Why didn't I know that? I could have went there and found him, and oh my God. Then oh
man, that's not
before I came back.
If we knew exactly where he was, I mean, Chicago's right there, man. Like I could
Right there. How are you gonna go on the bus?
Well, I mean, yeah, if that's where he's gonna be,
uncle?
is at the bus station.
Oh, your uncle?
Yeah, I guess I could get a train probably from here to Chicago.
Oh,
I just wasn't.
The metro probably goes from Kenosha to Chicago. I bet it does.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people live in Kenosha and work in the Chicago area, suburbs, and in Chicago. We could go find him, go find him and drag him by the ear back and throw him in jail.
And while I'm there and I got my camera, let's see if I can find out at them.
Oh, yeah.
He loves going to the Cook County Assessor's Office.
Mob. Just look for the angry mob, and that's where he is. I'm just kidding. There's lots of angry mobs in Chicago.
Yeah, right. I don't want to get hooked up with the wrong one. Oh man, that's too bad, man. Looking at the way
with them, Press Harder and Joe Cool. Oh, that's funny.
See, Joe Cool is someone that, like, when he first hit the scene, I actually talked to him a couple times on stream, and he even came here a few times, and we got along fine. And he seemed like a good dude, but
Josh in person?
No, Joe Cool, I'm saying. I on stream. I talked to him a few times. I talked to Josh 100 times on stream on his channel and on this one. So that doesn't even mean anything talking to him. In fact, that was when when Troll recently had his debate with John Felix, and I was trying to give him some advice because I've talked to Felix before too, was on BSBT stream. And that was just a poop show. I thought about that too, and I wanted to, in my head, I realized John Felix's technique of debating is just baiting and setting verbal traps. And he still, today, when he talks about me, will always say yeah, that's that guy that supports slavery. And he'll always say that about me.
Right.
And what he's talking about is that I made the mistake of taking it on good faith that the question he was asking me actually a legitimate question, because what he asked me was, and it's so funny because him and his fans are like saying that I was so stupid and my answer was so dumb. But it's like, I was answering the question he asked. He asked me if I was born in the South during slavery, do I think I would have supported the laws of the state I was in at the time? And I'm thinking, based on that question, well, okay, in my head, well, if I was born back then, my family history, knowing I probably would have been poor. So I probably would have grew up on a farm. I probably would have had no real formal education. Right. I probably would have never even heard of abolition, let alone know about the abolitionist movement, unless somebody somewhere on the sly slipped me a copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin or something. Like, so I'm thinking on that level. So I'm answering the question based on that level.
Certainly would not have owned another human being.
Well, right. I wouldn't even have probably ever even seen a plantation unless we drove past it on a wagon or something.
Right. You know? Yeah.
But the point ultimately was that I answered that question. And that's wrong. Him and BST are going to make fun of me forever now. Why? Because even though that was the question he asked, that wasn't the question he wanted me to answer. The question he wanted me to answer was, if I was in a science fiction movie and I had a time machine and I, knowing everything I know now, went back in time to the South, would I have been an abolitionist or not? It's like, oh, well, in that scenario, of course I would. But that's not the question you asked. The question was, if you were born back then, what do you think you would have found? I don't know. I would have to build this whole scenario in my mind. Which state? Because, yes, although slavery was legal south of the Mason-Dixon line, every state, just like anything else, has their own rules and regulations. So what, was I born in Mississippi? Was I born in Georgia? Was I born in South Carolina? You know, and then how was I raised? What kind of education did I have? Back then, the schools taught that it was okay. The churches taught that it was okay. So, like, would I have even been exposed to the abolitionist movement? How do I know? You know? But they want me to assume like I had a time machine and I went back there and I knew everything I know now. How would you feel?
Right.
So that's not what you said when you asked the question.
Right.
But I'm the idiot for answering the question he asked and not what he meant. I was supposed to just say, of course I wouldn't support those laws.
But, you know, they're masters at flipping things around and reading between lines that aren't there and telling you what you meant. So that's probably what he expected you to do.
Oh yeah. Well, it was
never posed. So
it was a trap question. Absolutely.
Right.
Because that's what he does.
That's what they do. They read between lines. They think, well, that's not what you really want to know. That's not what you're really thinking. They tell you what you're thinking. So it's like, okay, yeah, what am I thinking? Thanks. You know, so they expected you, like, this is what we're talking about. They think what they do is normal. So everybody does it. So you answering the question exactly as it was posed to you is laughable to them because who does that?
Right. Right. In their minds, in their world. I mean,
happen.
And you just said it, like reading between lines that aren't there. You know, how many times have we seen anybody on not just on the other side, but just in general, taking things someone says.
I give you a giant example, but I don't want to keep bringing it up. You know, somebody who said exactly those words. That's not what they really mean. Exactly that.
Right.
You know, it's like, where are they going for their crystal balls? This is what I want to know. Where are they going to get their tarot cards read and the crystal balls to know exactly what other people are thinking or wanting to do? Or because they always say, well, we all know the cop wanted to beat me up. No, I don't think he did. He didn't even look the slightest bit interested in anything except putting cuffs on you and kind of looked bored.
Right.
You know, like, all right, take it easy, relax, get in the car, you know. routine arrest for him. He's not trying to beat you up, but you know that he wanted to kick the ever living crap out of you.
Yep. And how many times have we heard these guys talk about, like, I've seen so many videos where a cop will be like, look, I don't want to arrest you. I don't even want to trespass you. I'm just asking you to please just go. And then, like, in the narration, he's dying to arrest me. He's lying. He's dying to throw me in jail. He can't wait.
Yep. He's dying to throw me in torture cuffs and beat me up and take my stuff illegally. Excuse me. And do all that stuff. You know, they know exactly what the cop is thinking and feeling, how angry he is, and he wants to just take me and throw me in a ditch somewhere.
Yep.
I know he does.
Yep. They do that so much. And and it's not just them too. It's like, it's a thing. Frauditor Follies, I'm working on a pure response. I'll be done in the next 10 minutes. I could show it on here when I'm done. If you're still on. Well, I mean, we're over 3 hours, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let us know if we're still on. Because we probably are going to wrap it up soon. But there was one last thing on that I did want to say, mentioning that subject specifically. I mean, what we were just talking about. I was thinking about, and again, whatever your politics are on this sort of thing or whatever, none of what the actual discussion was has anything to do with the point I'm trying to make. It's this idea in general and how it seems to be a bigger thing, not just with frauditors or people on whatever side of the fence you're on in any situation, but just the fact that this does seem to be a thing that's going around nowadays. There's a famous clip of Jordan Peterson in an interview with a woman where she literally keeps putting words in his mouth. And at one point he says, listen, I choose the words I say very, very, very carefully so that they won't be misunderstood or misinterpreted. And yet they always are. And then eventually he like, it became a famous interview because eventually he flips it on her and he asks her a question and she's like, well, wait, what? And he goes, ha, gotcha. You know, yeah. She's like, yeah, you have got me on that one. I can't, you're right. I can't, but it's like, there seems to be so much of that. It's like, I really like green. Oh, so you're saying you hate blue?
Right.
No, I said I like green.
You have something against all the other primary colors. I know that's what you're thinking.
Right.
You don't like the rainbow. You hate gay people.
Yep.
Homophobe, ladies and gentlemen. We knew it. We knew we'd get him to admit it. We knew it all along. That's what he was really thinking by admitting he only likes green.
Yep. Exactly. It's like, that's the mentality. That's how they put these things together. Connect lines that aren't connected. Find lines, hidden lines in between that aren't there, or connecting pieces of puzzles that aren't connected. Yeah. Drawing distinctions between things that are indistinct. Like
round hole, square peg.
Yeah. It's like I sit here and I talk for 3 hours a day, every day. And it's like, okay, let's not listen to what he's saying. Let's just talk about what we want to say he's saying. Don't listen to what he's saying. Again, it goes back to the videos we show every day. Don't look at what's happening in the video. Listen to the frauditor's narration. Don't look at the fact that the cop is just standing there minding his own business. Listen to the tyranny of the vicious, evil tyrant. Yeah. This crow is driving me nuts, man. He's like right there, and he's got something in his mouth. It was wiggling. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He's just standing right there. And he's just chewing this critter I've been watching.
So crows are they're not good luck. Get them away from you.
He's big too.
Oh boy, you look like a grandpa putting your glasses down your nose like that.
Those damn crows. Get off
my windowsill. Hi, Patrick.
Oh, there he goes. All right, he just flew away. Is Pat Dagler here? What's up? Good to see you. Oh, my dearie dear.
Dagler. Yeah, he's here. All his Patrick gloriness.
Yes. All right, guys. So with that, we're over the 3-hour mark.
Okay.
Oh, it's sunny by you. It's raining out here, and I got crows. Yay, you get the sun. Lucky.
Are you going to count crows? You're going to be counting crows?
All right. See, I don't have the crow sound effect for ancient chart music and art. Dagnabbit.
Oh, she wasn't here either. Boo-boo lip. So many people don't come. She came yesterday, so
yes,
I guess I'll have to settle for that. Like Frauditor comedy show didn't come.
Well, again, before we wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out, I guess, Blackheart Knight has a new video coming out in a few minutes whenever he's done uploading it, so definitely check that out. And don't forget, like I said earlier, I talked to Frauditor News Network yesterday, and between her health and me with the kids on the weekends, the Saturday show is something that we're going to have to it's just not going to be a viable option anymore. But we will still be here on the morning show Monday through Friday. Any last words, Ray, before we wrap it up for the day, evening, afternoon, whatever?
One asked me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Nope. So hope everyone has a good day. Hope everyone has a great day. And don't forget, little Chihuahua.
Tiny's Big Adventures or something.
Golly gee willikers. I cannot remember it.
Tiny
New
Chihuahua.
New channel name. I will get the link again because it's probably way up there. She has a new channel name. I'm getting a link right now, but there's a live at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern this evening.
Yes.
And I would like
My Tiny Chihuahua Life.
Yes, My Tiny Chihuahua Life. I would like it if everybody came to show support if you can for her. Let me get the link. I'm so sorry, guys. Just have to shorten down the. It doesn't let me. Because it's too young. All right. Sorry.
It's all good.
Gosh, I was horrible at my. Get this. Should totally fire me.
No,
all right,
no,
there we
no.
go. There's the link. My Tiny Chihuahua Life will be live tonight, 5/14 of 24. 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Try to be there if you can. It's only her second live, and I really wish that everybody could, as many of you as possible, could show up and give her some moral support. So
yes,
I wasn't trying to make any puns. So
that would be punny.
yeah.
Oh wait, I got the comic good shot sound effect. Never mind.
Thank you, Patrick. Anyway, if you guys aren't busy, try and be there. I know I will because I like her lives. She's pretty cool. So
yes, love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Ray, for coming out again. As always, always beautiful to have you here. Love you guys. Love you, Ray.
Guys.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And don't forget, as always, at the end of the show, I always say, the Elvis Gnome is back. Oh, yeah. I'm all shook up.
tell me the duck story.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?" The man said, "No, we just sell lemonade, but it's cold and it's fresh and it's all homemade. Can I get you a glass?" The duck said, "I'll pass." Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, till the very next day, bum, 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 ba-dum, when the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?" The man said, "No, like I said yesterday, we just sell lemonade, okay? Why not give it a try?" The duck said, "Goodbye." Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, till the very next day, bum, 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 ba-dum, when the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?" The man said, "Look, this is getting old. I mean, lemonade's all we've ever sold. Why not give it a go?" The duck said, "How about no?" Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, till the very next day, bum, 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 ba-dum.